expert accessories could supercharge your performance and win with Bosch.
You hear that? That's the sizzling sound of pork. Together we make fire. Pork on the wok, it's pure desire. Sweet, sticky pork flavor so deep. Stir fry it up, we got the heat. Lips are smacking when pork's around. Kids are making those satisfying sounds. Sizzle, baby, sizzle. It's tasty o'clock. Time to get some pork on your wok.
Escape your pricey telco and win a share of AAMI's $50 million in amazing surprises. Switch to any AAMI mobile plan and enter at our website to win. You could score yourself a prize from brands such as Flight Centre, Samsung, Dyson, Smeg, TCL, the iconic Uber, Hoyts, Temple & Webster, Nintendo, Prezi, Interflora, or even a Suzuki Swift. There's over 1.6 million prizes to be won, so enter at amasim.com.au/surprises. N6 of the 5th 25 excludes NBN as you go in roaming packs. T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Ah, yes, if you don't mind, the Community Cup Series is here at GMHBA Stadium. We're kicking it off not far from round 0. And it's great to be back at the footy, there's no doubt about that. The Cats, the home side, taking on the Bombers tonight for a bit of a hit out here. Reasonable crowd expected. Looking forward to getting stuck into it, as always. Surrounded by the biggest names in AFL footy and broadcasting, and what a humble privilege it is. Baz with you, and to my right, Stevie J's here, 3 premierships, 3 All-Australians, and Norm Smith. You pretty much did it all, Stevie.
Yeah, it's great to be back, Baz. Nice conditions down here in Geelong tonight, so looking forward to a good contest between the Bombers and the Cats. Both teams pretty close to full strength, so they'll be trying their best to put their names forward for round 1.
Isaac Smith usually carried in here in a chariot after the Norm Smith 2022, and of course 4 flags himself, 3 at the Hawks, 1 at the Cats. Great to have you back.
It's good to be here, Baz. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I think the AFL have got the pre-season right. As Stevie just said, we're seeing pretty much close to full strength, so not too often they roll the big dog out for a pre-season game, but
I was a bit shocked.
Here we go.
They're not rolling them out for the commentary either, are they?
No, that's true. Actually, Stevie, to be honest, they had me on the wall, JBBT, Howie. JBBT just a little underdone. And they said, no, we need Baz to kick us off. kick us off tonight. It's joining me in commentary. He's a big man with a big voice, a singer-songwriter, if you don't mind, and caught up with some of his ripping work in the off-season. I like
sure
hang out 2-bit sleazy dives in the off-season. I wandered into one night and Big Tim was on the stage and strutting his stuff. G'day, Big Tim Solly.
Thank you, Barry. I like that introduction. Yeah, it was good to have you there, Baz.
Yeah.
I lifted a gear. I'd say I was about a 7 out of 10, and then I looked over and saw you leaning against the wall with a pint, and I thought, I've got to lift my game here. Baz is in town, so I brought it home with a bang.
He dedicated a song to me, and that's true.
I did, yeah.
Would have been a big song.
No, it was only 2 in the room.
And only 1 pie?
2 in the room and 1 was asleep. No, there was a big crowd there.
I don't think Barry was the only one that was paying on the door, so she wasn't a big paper bag knife.
Yes, no, that is true. But welcome back, everyone. It's great to be back at the footy. As Stevie J said, a beautiful night. The blue skies towering over GMHBA Stadium here in Catland. Couple of interesting sides to look at tonight. The Cats, of course, preliminary finalists last year, and at half-time they had the Lions measure, and the rest is history. The Lions going to win the flag, but tipped as big favourites early in the season, the Cats, and looking for a big year.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of motivation on the back of last year. They're always motivated, the Cats. We know that they always turn up, and they'll be thereabouts at the end of this year, no doubt. But tonight is an opportunity for some of those young guys who'll be pushing their case for round 1. And interesting to see what the Bombers serve up. Obviously, a bit of an unknown, but again, there's some good young players in that team that I'm looking forward to watching tonight.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think the Bombers are a real watch this year. They've gone through a little bit of transition over the off-season, and as Stevie said, they have started over the last 2 or 3 years to get some real talent on that list. So I don't expect them to be blowing the world up, to your disappointment probably, Baz, but I expect them to see them taking some steps forward and to see some of this younger brigade come through.
There's a young player playing out here tonight I'm really looking forward to, Baz. That's young Isaac Kako.
Kako.
Yeah, small forward, and apparently he's got some real tricks, and I haven't seen him live before. So
Nick Watson type.
Very Nick Watson type. So apparently him and Caddy down in that forward line are the future of the Bombers. So, yeah, he's a close watch for me, and he might be my man after tonight.
He grew up barracking for the Bombers too, Baz, so he's
poor bugger.
led the old red and black like you his entire life.
Well, if he goes hard enough, you might get a star outside of Windy Hill like I have, Tim.
And he's actually the first Iraqi player to play the AFL as well, so
Really?
he's breaking ground on the multicultural front as well, so good luck to him this year, and hopefully he can put a big season together.
They are an interesting watch, the Bombers. I don't want to harp on them too much, but the last 2 seasons, red hot into the middle of the season. I think they were second on the table at about round 12 last year. Both seasons fell away and, didn't end up, obviously, the way they wanted it to end up. Is that just a sign of a young group that's gelling together? The back end of the seasons are always a bit harder on the younger players.
Yeah, it is. It's a long season, and you need the years in the legs, as I'm sure Stevie would know. But to be honest, I just don't think they had the list to compete with the other clubs that were playing higher up the ladder, that were in finals contention. They certainly didn't have a list to compete with those top 4 type teams, and they won some games early. I expect them to do the same this year. You'd expect them to go a little bit longer into the season, but who knows? Who knows? We saw Hawthorn kick on last year, and they were the surprise packet. Everyone tipped them bottom 4, wooden spoon. People were tipping them earlier in the year, so the Bombers might jump and jump quickly. You're never quite sure how quick the talent will come on, but I'm sure they've had a good summer, and Brad Scott's put a bit of work into it.
Tell you what, that Cats list just looks sprinkled with the enormous talent it's got, Stevie Jane. I know we're going to see Bailey Smith slot in somewhere, not tonight, but he's going to slot in somewhere, and that's just a huge in.
Yeah, it's a big in, and I come along last week and watched the practice game between the Cats and the Hawks, and Bailey Smith was on fire early. They probably need to hold him back from himself a little bit. He'll be just chomping at the bit to get out there, and it's been a long time. He's had a long recovery with that knee, and I think it's only a little bit of soreness on the opposite knee which is keeping him out tonight. But also some other kids that are coming in. Young Nevitz had big raps around his pre-season. Interesting to watch the Coning tonight. He'll take the ruck duties. One out, and one player last week that just shone above all was, and he's a superstar of the competition, but Brian Myers last week looked a class above every other player on the ground. Every time he got the ball within 50 to 70, he hit a teammate on the chest, so he's just about the best kick inside 50 in the AFL right now.
He was brilliant.
You played a bit with him, Isaac. What was he like around the group? Is he vocal? Does he get involved on the ground, or is he just quiet and goes about his work?
Well, he's quiet and goes about his work, but what he did, so I got there end of 2020, and he was quiet, he was young, but you could see him building. And now he is a senior member of this team, and he is one of their best players. So you see that growth. We're just talking about Essendon, that growth. Grind's someone who's come on a lot in the last 3 years.
And Dangerfield's most likely going to spend predominantly his time in the forward line, you'd think, this year. So it's up to Max Holmes to have a really big year. We know he's had that injury towards the end of last year, and he's touted as being an absolute superstar going forward. I don't know what your thoughts are on him.
Yeah, no, he is. He's got the one thing when he first came in was he probably wasn't a pure footballer as such. He was an athlete. He was lightning quick. I would argue that he's the quickest player in the competition, but no, he'll certainly be one of the best players in the competition. If he gets a full run at it this year, he'll be one of the prime movers. You can throw him back, you can throw him forward, and when he gets in the midfield, no one can go with him. So, they've unearthed another talent there as well.
And 10 games this year at GMHBA Stadium for the Cats, so that is magnificent for their footy club, a big year set. This is the Triple M footy preview for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. A little bit earlier, Billy and Daisy caught up with Sean Manor, who's debuted last year with 12 games. Let's have a listen to that chat with the young man.
Football provides some great stories, but even better when you do the ring around to try and get some information on somebody and there's nothing but glowing endorsements.
Spot on.
Polite, great kid, deserves everything he's getting now, worked his backside off. Shawnee Manor, thanks so much for joining us on the Rush Hour.
No, thanks, Dave. You've obviously spoke to my mum then, have you?
No, Julian Pinnock, a good mate of mine and yours.
No, spot on. Great man, Julian. So.
Dairy farmer in Strathmerton. He'll be out there doing the second session shortly. But Jules, I rang him. He's such a good bloke. I've got nothing on him. But a good country boy from Albury, but actually a smaller little town than that, Walla Walla.
Yeah, I had a season out at Walla Walla. So,
yeah, good.
Obviously, I was actually born in Werribee. Then we moved to Albury when I was quite young.
Yeah.
And then, just come through the junior ranks. And then old man got a coaching gig out at Walla.
Yeah.
And followed him out there and played for a year.
So Walla, a tiny little town, 800 people out near Albury, Culcairn.
Yeah.
Tough league, though.
Well, a small country town, guess what happens to those? So
You
Walla's
play
not...
footy early.
Yeah, but the footy club has to merge.
Oh.
So now it's merged with 2 other towns. So it's Walla Walla, Iran, Wulbundry Football Club, is it?
Yeah, Wulbundry Walla Football Club. There's 3 teams, and there's a CDHBU.
Song.
I think there's 4 or 5 teams out there that have all merged, and it's obviously local footy's not in a great place at the moment, so that's a sad thing about it. But we look back on really fun times there, and hopefully one day they can bring back just the Walla Hoppers, and Rand can go back to themselves. But
How old were you when you played seniors?
15.
So how'd you go that year?
We struggled. We won 2 games for the year.
Did you go?
Yeah, how'd you go?
No, it was okay. Interesting year in senior footy, but struggling team, and just gave the young guys a go. So got really good experience, and playing against the bigger bodies was certainly interesting.
Won the best in Ferris Bill.
Well, did he? No, went into Albury, which is a very
joint.
Joint best in Ferris winner at 15 in the senior side.
Really?
Yeah, Mark Sims, we joined.
Simsy?
I think. Yeah, well, my old man was the coach, so let's think about that.
But
I didn't do the maths.
Went into Albury, and a very good competition there. Very good footy there.
Yeah,
so
in the Ovens Murray.
Yeah, Ovens and Murray. You dominated there?
I wouldn't say dominated. It took me a while to find my feet, but I was very lucky to play under Jason Ackermanis there at North Albury early days, and obviously learned a lot. He was actually a great coach. You obviously hear some different things about him in the media, but I couldn't speak highly enough of him as a person and a coach, and probably wouldn't be here where I am today without him at some point. So,
but and now you're injured. So what have you done, Sean Manor?
Just a little stressy in the foot. But no, that was pre-Christmas. So I've been working my way back, and back running and training now. So we training with the group this weekend, and put my hand up for next week opening round. But if not, very early in the season.
Now for the Geelong fans listening along, who's been lighting up the track? And we're watching a VFL game here. Anyone to watch?
Yeah, I think I just mentioned you before the broadcast. Jay Polkinghorn, keep an eye for
number
him.
2,
number 2 up forward. Great set of hands and a really nice kick at goal. And then Mitchy Edwards, he's not out there tonight. He's a second-year player, but
big ruckman.
Young big ruckman, and he's had a really, really good pre-season. So hopefully we can get him back out there the next couple of weeks. But then, George Stevens as well, inside mid, got his first taste of AFL last week. Played the second half, so he's had a great big pre-season.
Barley Smith, how's he been lighting up the track at training?
Who's that, sorry?
Barley, do you know him?
Haven't seen him.
Haven't
That young fella goes really well. He's very impressive out there, and he's really gelling well off field as well, which is the main thing. But we'll get him back out there next week or so, and be lighting up the Brisbane at the Gabba.
Sean Manor there with Billy and Days doing the rush hour a little bit earlier today. They were here at GMHBA Stadium, and a young man, 12 games. You talk about the experienced players in the side, but they unearthed a couple last year, the Cats as well. Dempsey had a ripping year. He just exploded, and I think Sean Manor's going to be a ripper as well.
Dempsey's a star.
Yeah.
If he wasn't already, he will be certainly one of the most dangerous wing half forwards in the competition. I think he's bound to take mark of the year at some point throughout his career as well.
Well, it's time to introduce a man who's an institution here on Triple M Footy, and it's wonderful to have him here tonight. We all feel very humbled. He was a 2-time day premiership statistician for the North Melbourne Football Club. He was also a 2-time night premiership statistician for the North Melbourne Football Club, singing alongside the great Dennis Pagan, and it's wonderful to have Ashley Chua here tonight, and what a treat it is, Ash. Very good evening.
Good evening, Baz. Great to be here. Great to be working with Red Z Lending Stats, of course, for another season, and above all, looking forward to working with you guys in the box tonight.
Oh, it's good on you, Chua.
How's that? True, man. There you go. Off your Chris start. Too polite, eh? You're polite. Yeah, it's not Triple M like, is it?
You've only been here 100 years.
Yeah, I know.
You get sentimental in your old age, Chua.
Yeah, well, it's part of the aging.
Did you clean the spa over the summer?
Yes, because look out for the kangaroos.
Are they coming?
Yeah, they're coming
What's
very
the prediction this year, Chew? How many wins the Kangas got to get this year?
7 wins.
7 wins.
Yeah, I think that's a pass mark.
Yep.
7's a pass.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, fair enough.
Want some Red Z Lending Stats?
Yeah, what do you got for us, Ash?
Well, here we go. So, as you mentioned, the Bombers, 17 rounds last season. They're sitting 4th on the ladder, only to lose 6 out of their past 7 and to finish 11th. And Brad Scott is focusing on forward half efficiency. That's an area that they really lacked last year. Territory battle-wise, are okay. 7th for time in the forward half, 5th for inside 50 differential. However, 16th for scoring efficiency. The other stat that we'll keep tabs on for this evening is the pressure rating. Past 2 seasons, Baz.
Hello.
18th for pressure.
Right.
And Isaac Kako, you mentioned him, 176 centimetres, picked 13 in last year's draft, grew up as an Essendon fan, loved you, Baz, of course, being a Bombers supporter, kicked 20 goals for the Quarter Cannons last season, 8 for Vic Metro at the under-18 carnival before his campaign was ruined by an ankle injury. But we'll keep an eye out for him, of course, for Red Z.
That's brilliant, Ash. Notice how his voice has an inflection when he gives that negative stat. 18th, Baz. The pressure. A little upward.
He's not bad, is he?
A little upward spiral. Billy and Days were very, very busy here this evening, and they happened to catch up with a 109-game bomber in Matt Guelphy. Let's have a listen to that.
Well, thanks so much, I should say, for coming up and giving up some of your time. You're injured at the minute. Give the Bombers fans an update, and how you going?
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Yeah, frustrating, but I'll be back after the year and hopefully finals, so it's exciting.
So you did your hammy?
Yep. Re-injury.
Re-injured it?
Which is the frustrating bit, but... Yeah, I've seen a specialist in America and got some little tips from them and, got the physios and stuff all onto it, so I'm pretty confident.
What do they say, the specialist in America? I'm always fascinated by this. Like, they got really nice offices and all that, and you walk in and they've got all these whiz-bang ideas, or...?
Yeah, so it was in Wisconsin at the university there, the Badgers. He's the head of the NBA and NFL hamstrings, so... Yeah, he's got a lot of backing behind him, and they've got heaps of money over there. So it was like playing a video game. You put the all the dots and stuff on and see how I run and all those little tests and stuff. So the main thing I took out of it was really that the physios at Essendon doing the right thing. So it gave me a lot of confidence. But we also learned a few little things that I can work on.
Are you going to have to change the way you run?
Yeah, a little bit. That's more just like a 1% thing, but yeah.
Oh, you'll be back. You get all sorts of people texting you and telling you what to do, run backwards like a boundary umpire and all that. You get all that from the Bomber fans?
Yeah, and all the old blokes like you. We've got Colin Hooper, who's the a volunteer at the club who is a runner, and he's 87, and he says, hamstrings only 21 days, 21 days.
Right.
Oh, I'd love that.
21 days.
What about it? It is an exciting time for your footy club, though. Last year sort of tapered off after being in the 8, cemented in it for a large portion of it. But it looks like you've gone to the draft, and a couple of the kids we saw last year have really come on.
Yeah, definitely. We got Kako, who's been exciting.
Tell us about him.
Yes.
Oh, he's just so quick off the mark, which is the most impressive bit. For me, that's what I'm excited to get back out there with him and put pressure on in the forward line. And then, we've got other boys that are coming along who've been in the system for a few years, like Perko and Duz and Caddy. They're all raw football players, so I'm excited to see them take it to the next level and fill a few holes. Like we obviously lost Jake Stringer, and I think Perkins can fill that hole massively.
But Caddy, it just some of the games and some of the quarters, he just looked very, very good player. Only a young kid, so we don't expect too much. But he was dominating.
Yeah, he just floats across packs. Like you think you're going to mark a ball, and then he just comes and floats across. So. Yeah, it's a very good luxury to have. It's pretty hard to stop his jump.
You've had Scotty in the big chair for a couple of years now, and there was a comment he made a couple of pre-seasons ago, whenever it was, saying he expected you guys to come back in good nick from that pre-season. I assume the expectation has gone up again this year? Yeah,
definitely. His professionalism at the club is like huge, and I think that was something we were lacking, maybe with just a bit of younger leadership and so he's come in and really just, kind of given us a bit of a pump up, really.
Just looking out here now, 2 metre Peter. He's a man that you need back, taking those marks, kicking goals. We've really missed that the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. He's had a few injuries at the start of last year that interrupted him, but we know Peter's best.
Yes.
Yeah, he's won a Crichton medal, so if we can get him anywhere near back to that, it's going to be very exciting.
There we go. Matty Guelphy not here tonight, but chatting to Bill and Daisy on the rush hour this evening. Don't forget JB's back on the rush hour on Monday to kick off a big footy season, and him and Bill will get stuck into it. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. For Bob Jane T-Marts downstairs tonight, very special individual. He spent his whole summer in the gym. He looks magnificent. Him and I were in the gym all summer. Joey Pignataro, very good afternoon. G'day, Joey.
Hello, Baz. Can you hear me up there?
Yeah, we've got you now, mate.
Okay, I thought I saw you in the gym. You were just lurking
That's
around
right.
the front of the smoothie bar, Baz.
Yeah, that's it. So everyone's got their job, Joey.
Perfect conditions here at GMHBA Stadium. Left of your radio dial, a bit of a breeze. That's where Patrick Dangerfield is going. Joel Selwood stand in for the Cats. No Bailey Smith, as you said. Isaac Kako, first game in red and black. Question for Isaac and Stevie. Both of these teams are kicking off in opening round next week. Is this a full dress rehearsal, or are they going to try a couple of things? They only got their one practice game before they hit the ground running next weekend.
I would say 80% of it will be a full dress rehearsal. I'm sure there's a couple of things they're trying, and we might see some players in maybe a different position than they'll roll out in opening round, but I would say 80% of it. Stevie, would you agree? Or?
Yeah, I reckon individual players might be monitored a little bit later on in the game. You'd expect Jeremy Cameron, one player for Geelong, he might come out and play the first half. Same with Dangerfield, put them on ice and get them ready for round one.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Get set to listen to that all season in 2025 again. All the stars are back, and where would they go? And this is the place to be, Triple M footy. Big Tim Solly is going to kick us off tonight. And any expectations, lads, before the umpire throws it in the air?
Well, just quickly throwing to Joey that I don't think Mitch Nevitt's going to start opening round in the guts, and he is tonight.
He started on Zach Merritt. I'm predicting the Cats by about 6 goals, Baz.
Right, let's get AAMI Community Series underway. Oh, the umpire hasn't done so. That's an ordinary bounce.
Lucky we can all get a few cobwebs out tonight.
Yeah, that's right. A few gremlins. All of us. As he decides to throw this one up. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocking footy as De Koning just hammers this one forward. It tumbles past Dangerfield. Here's Myers. Spoke about him pre-game. Sockers to the top of the square. Ollie Henry taken down. And the umpire says no prior. I'll have it. Attacking in here for Geelong. Kicking to the city end of the ground in this first term. As the Sharon goes back up into the sky. Draper taps it down. There's about 20 around the pill here. Caldwell on hands and knees. Couldn't get it out close. He's tackled by Shield. We'll have another stoppage at the top of the goal square.
So the Catters immediately into attack, heading to the Joel Selwood stand in, the left of where we sit. And the umpire's plucked one in the ruck, and he'll go to Draper for the Bombers being held as the ball went up. So Draper, as far back as you can go in defence, looks to the outer side of the ground and drops it on his boot about 40 metres, and Harrison Jones just floats back out of defensive 50 and takes the mark. Hand pass off towards Merritt, kick towards Perkins, went over his head, Cats to reclaim. Holmes, little hand pass off towards his teammate in Guthrie. Guthrie hand pass again along the boundary line, it's punched out of bounds. All along the wing, outer side of the ground.
Well, it'll be interesting. Draper gets that free kick, and Shannon Neal took the ruck in the forward 50, Stevie. Tommy Hawkins not there this year. It's going to be an interesting watch.
Yeah, always have to be careful of the big Tomahawk, just wrestling his opponent and snapping a goal. I don't think he's that big and strong just yet.
Ball in on the outer wing, tap to the front. A hurried kick came forward from Caldwell. And then here's Nick Martin, just got worked off it by Stengel. That was clever. Then he was clean with the hands. A right foot ball towards Dangerfield. The late spoil came. Draper like a rover at the front. He got down on his knees and he shoveled it up to Jones, who got it to Perkins by hand. And then he gets it out to Merritt, who spears one back into the corridor. That's exceptional vision. Martin looking at Kako. This is our first look at him. He's tied back the Moulay. He wants to play on. He feeds it into the pocket. And the mark's taken by Durham, 15 from home.
Stevie J-Lock.
That was precision, that kick inside 50. His first kick, he'd nearly call it the big time. It's big time for him. It's his first game against an experienced AFL outfit, and he just made space really well. His defender pressed up. He backed away back into the dangerous space inside 50, took the mark and delivered beautifully.
So big raps on this kid. Can he go another level this season? He lines up a goal, Durham, and he splits the middle. Perfect start here for the Bombers. Durham gets the first goal, and they lead by 6 points with 3 minutes gone in this first term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, nice start for Durham there, and he'll be looking for another massive year. He turned himself into one of the better players, and certainly at Essendon and the competition last year. But we're talking about cobwebs, and we saw Sam De Koning in defence there, and he sort of just slumbered up. He didn't get any pressure in the face of Zach Merritt, and he was able to rip that one inside, and that's Zach's best skill, being able to hit those kicks, and the Geelong defence would want to be pressing better than that in the opening round.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. It's great to have two superstars here tonight in the Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments, and Stevie J and Isaac Smith, massive part of Triple M footy in 2025. As the umpire steps up to slam it into the deck. This time stays inside the circle. Conning up in the ruck, tap down to ground level. Bombers to reclaim though. Opportunity for Sardis, who turns and delivers inside forward 50 for Essendon. Off hands to Caldwell. Little hand pass off to Martin. Left foot ball from 40. Open goal square. It's another one. So the Bombers got a couple on the board early. 2 straight goals, and the Catters yet to score. We're a couple of minutes into the first term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, he's a very good player, Martin, and that was a very nice finish. Crumbed it off the pack. It looked like Kako had made a little bit more space inside 50 again, and he probably could have lowered the eyes, but extremely skillful player. He is. He backed himself in. There was no one in the goal square, so he just pulled it around the corner and landed it on the goal line and straight through the middle of the goals. Isaac.
Yeah, no, it's a good start by Essendon. It's interesting though, Cats late last year got scored heavily against a few times. Their defence got pulled apart a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up a little bit here tonight to see if they can tighten up a few of the things that probably went wrong towards the end of last year.
The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. It'll be Draper climbing over the top of DeConing on this occasion. Sardis got it to McGrath. He was indecisive. Then handballs inside Shield. Releases Caldwell, who lowers the eyes. A spearing ball through the hands of Durham. And now Draper off the deck. He soccers it towards goal. Here's that man Martin lurking again. He floats one out to the fat side. It's a bit too heavy there for Perkins. He has to wheel back, looking corridor. Smother came to Koning. And now McGrath again. Feeds it backwards this time. Shield wants that left. Driving ball to the pocket, but box seat Blitzarves takes the relieving mark.
So deep left back pocket. The Bombers with a couple of early goals on the board. Cats just working it out to Humphries at half back. Broadcast side of the ground he marks. Stands flat-footed. Spins the footy in one hand. Looks out to the right.
Interesting to see Peter Wright's out there at the moment. He was playing in the VFL only about 45 minutes ago.
And Peter, he's put his hand up. Said, I want more. Cameron just got short quarter close. Who marks on the wing for the Cats?
I haven't fixed these commentary boxes here.
No, spot on, is he?
Or the parking.
So, hang on, it's close. Kicks up towards half forward. Dangerfield flies, doesn't mark.
High contact.
And a player caught very high for the Bombers is Jackson Pryor.
Straight back.
Former Brisbane Lion, Big Tim.
Not a bad golfer, Barry.
Yeah, good play.
Good golfer.
Yeah.
He wants to go back inside the 50. He's got Ben Mackay at the top of the defensive goal square. He just squirts a little on a Shield, who's started off half-back early, lads. How do you see him there at half-back?
Yeah, he's had about 3 or 4 early touches, and that's where he's been earmarked to play this year. We think he'll probably attack very heavily off half-back.
Gresham, floaty one down the line. Draper got spoiled there by Guthrie, and Atkins mops up. A little share in my hands. Bowes, O'Connor, back to Bowes. He took the handball on. Cameron was a bit too cute. Was cut off by Shield. And now the Bombers circle. Merritt. He wanted it in his hands, but he's kicked it a bit heavy this time. O'Sullivan for the Cats, first touch. Dempsey gets it to Holmes, sends it inside 50. Danger on goal side, but the ball's going to beat him out of bounds right next to the behind post. It's the Bombers here leading by 12 points. 15 minutes left in this first term. That's all on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Connor O'Sullivan is also another name that's out there that played in the VFL before this game, so interesting to see what they do with their rotations, but he was very good last week against Hawthorn.
And now Miles going into the legs, Neil up, taps it down, but Draper is a posing Ruttman, grabs it and gives it the sort of outside of the boot kick, outside defensive 50 to Conning, got it. His kick was smothered. Cats can go inside again, looking for Cameron wide. The ball bounces out of bounds, about 45 out from the Geelong goal. Ash, Choice Hotels around the grounds. Community Series continues tomorrow night.
It does. Richmond versus Collingwood at Icon Park, Baz. 7:10 start.
So umpire tosses the ball in. Side attacking 50 here for the Cats. Neil comes from behind, slap to the front. He follows up his work, and then he's held up in the tackle by McGrath. We'll have a stoppage, 40 out from Geelong's goal. He tosses it up very quickly, the umpire. Like to see that as McGrath just hacks one around his shoulder. It's going to work out. Gresham right. A little sidestep there from Hobbs, and then he kicked it into the back of O'Sullivan for the Cats. He's a wiry type, isn't he? Look at him. He gets a couple of touches in a second, then he handballs it off to Holmes. Got it to Bowes, who releases Cameron, gets held up by a moment. That'll be holding the ball.
Yeah, McGrath got him and got the free for the Bombers in the centre. So right in the middle of GMHBA Stadium. Hand passes to the running Shield, who ran off half-back, accepted and drove a long ball towards full forward. Now it's a fight for the footy. Henry gets there first, punched out a hand pass to Watkins at half-back for the Catters. Got around Big Peter Wright, drilled a pass to DeConning. That was spoiled nicely to ground level. Allows Hobbs in to clean up. Little hand pass Gresham. Another one to Corbell, dragged down and a tackle by Holmes. Myers behind the ball, pressure on him from Durran, loses the footy. Martin picks up, has a snap, and I reckon he's got another one for the Bombers. He has. 3 in a row for Essendon. 3 straight goals, 18. The Cats yet to score. And we're about 7.5 minutes now into the first term here at GMHBA Stadium. Beacon Trace scoreboard.
Yeah, Ash talked earlier in the game that Essendon were 18th for pressure last year. I reckon their pressure's been really good early in this game, especially their forward half pressure, and that's where you get turnovers and opportunities, and Nick Martin's bounced on 2 of them. And the other thing I've liked is O'Sullivan, a couple of his moves. Stevie J, good Albury Tigers boy. He's moving well, and the Cats would be hoping they spent a lot of draft capital on him, and they'd be hoping he comes through and shows some strides this year.
Yeah, very early stats, 2-man. I'll throw to you quickly. Sorry, Stevie.
Yeah, Brad Scott spoke about their forward half efficiency. Well, last year's 17th for goal scoring efficiency. Tonight, 3 majors from just the 5 entries.
They're dominating around the midfield too, the Bombers. In the clearances, up 6-1.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Sardis gets some separation. He gets time to wind up, sends it towards Langford. Over his head, out the back, Zach Guthrie. Last year's runner-up in the Kaji Reeves medal. He's going to get it back here. Guthrie, Bowes, loopy 25-metre handball, set up his teammate. It's chopped off Kako, but then he missed the target. Guthrie gets a 3rd touch, gets it to close, looks into the open side. And that is clinical footy here as he spots up Ollie Henry 30 metres from home on a 45.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Zach Guthrie. He fired that the whole way through the middle of the ground, but what I loved there was close, got the handball off Guthrie about after Guthrie's 3rd possession and just lowered his eyes and picked up Ollie Henry there inside 50. We talked about Brian Myers earlier, and you add Brad Close into that. They're so good at spotting up their key forwards.
37 goals, 18 last year for Ollie Henry as he lines up on the runway and the goal umpire doesn't move. First goal on the board for the Cats. 1 goal straight 6. Essendon 3 goals straight 18. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, they won't be too disheartened by that, the Bombers. I mean, the pressure through the middle of the ground was really good, and they forced the errant handball from the Cats, and Kako just picked it up, and unfortunately he made the error, which Geelong were able to capitalise on, but they'll be happy that the pressure through the middle of the ground was there, and they forced that initial turnover.
You talk pressure, Stevie. Essendon are at 260.
Wow.
That's massive. The AFL average, as we know, is 180. Geelong are just above that, but where Essendon have been getting their hands on the footy early in this game is the pressure they've been bringing. And you talk about clearances. If Draper keeps sitting on the Geelong ruckman's head at centre bounce the way he's been doing it early in the game, they'll have a hell of a lot of an advantage at the end of the game.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Stevie J with Isaac Smith tonight. I love your family. Look after your mates. You'll be listening to them because they're quality. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Bounces good. They scramble underneath the ruckman's toes. Blitzarves puts his head over it. Can't control the footy. Little hand pass comes out to Corbell for Essendon. Kicks inside. Jack Henry with it nicely at half-back. True centre half-back. And he marks for the Cats.
Comes out of this broadcast wing. Blitzarves competed well, brought it to ground, and Clark just measures a neat ball and finds Dempsey. What are his numbers early, 2-man?
Triple M Red Z lending stats, 3 touches.
Yep, and O'Sullivan handballs back in the Dempsey direction. He's tucked in on the boundary. Got it to Holmes. His handball a bit hot for O'Sullivan. He gets it back to Holmes, who's backtracking. Handball inside. Humphreys, creative little sidestep. Dodges around and then spears it onto the chest of Dempsey. 51 from home. He's looking corridor now. Puts it to the top of the square. Big fly came Duncan. Hands and knees Ridley. Handball a bit too hot. Here's a look for Geelong. Neal flicks it out to Atkins, who snaps and misses out to the left-hand side. Just sneaks it in for a minor score. They're 117. Essendon 3 goals straight, 18. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
I don't know what's going on between Jezza and Dempsey at the moment, but that's 3 times he's missed him.
He's burned him once or twice, and Mitch Duncan thought he was Warwick Kappa for a second, but he got about half a foot off the ground.
I thought I'd leave that to you.
Kicks into the centre. Bose claims it off hands for the Cats. Swept that hand cross out to Myers.
Half a foot was generous, I reckon.
Takes it back to Bose. The ball rolls out of bounds from his kick. Does that go on? There's a bit of. If you're not happy with someone, do they just
no, they're
find yourself in space?
They're very happy, those two. I just don't think Ollie saw him. I don't know how he missed him, but
yeah.
Jez has got the Mackay matchup, and he just keeps running back towards goal and ticking back, but he's been burnt 3 or 4 times already.
So ball spins back in. Neil down, McGrath, he sharks it.
I think he wanted to see Mitch take a hanger.
Here's Roberts for the Bombers. He flicks it up to Martin, who's already kicked 2 in this first term. Decides to go backwards to Durham, who's got time and space just to assess. He was caught in about 8 mines and goes backwards on the 45. Spots up Zach Reed. Let's hope he can get some footy into his legs this year. As he goes back to Durham, who's tight-roping the boundary at right half back.
So Durham goes short to the wing. A little 25-metre pass to Sardis. And he marks and breaks the tackle, plays on, kick the half forward. A young Edwards up, didn't mark. The ball spills to Hobbs for the Bombers, and a short kick to Martin again. He's 45 out, 45-degree angle. He's got players on the fat side, just squares it up to Caldwell. Got an unkind bounce, allowed Atkins in. Dersma claims it. Hand pass off to Kako, who fires from the forward pocket across the body, and Kako's kicked the goal. The Bombers fans enjoyed that. 4 straight goals, Essendon 117. Now the Cats, and we're midway now through the first term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, that's his bread and butter, snapping across the body. But he's been making some really good space. The Geelong backline's been really loose. They've been zoning off quite a lot, but then they've been pressing up and, haven't got the balance right between coming up and impacting versus staying on their direct opponent. And, a smart player ahead of the ball like Kako is going to make the most of the space that they're giving him right at the moment.
Yeah, and that play was set up by Martin as well. He's been influential early. Him and Zach Merritt, 2 best kicks in their side probably, and he had the vision to hit that to the open side. And you're talking about clearances earlier, Stevie. It was 6-1. It's now 9-1. So Essendon are right on top. It looks like they're trying to keep the ball alive on ground level. They're tapping it out to each other. They're getting into really good spots and getting to advantage of their teammate.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. We're back in the middle. It's going to favour the Cats. It's Koning. Loopy left-hand handball. They love this. Brian Myers with ball in hand, but he coughs it up on this occasion. Shield, Merritt link up. Now Dersma. True centre wing on the far side. He cuts back into Sardis. Handball's too hot. Bounces off his chest. And then Bose slung around in the tackle. Dangerfield went low and hard. Got the handball out wide. Myers, 80 from home. Opts for the handball. Then a spearing ball at the laces are close. Handballs it out the back door. A snapping ball back to the open side. Where's Stengel? Can't get there in time. It'll be held up by Harry Jones, who looks out now. They've got a bit of room here, the Bombers. Tommy Edwards, who impressed in that pre-season game against the Dogs. Kicked 4.5. Kako under pressure, almost coughed it up. Archie Roberts, Pryor diving on top. Kako gets his snout over it again, and then a tumbling ball down the line. Didn't disguise it well. The umpire says deliberate. So Cameron will get the free kick broadcast wing.
It didn't take Danger long to get back into midfield when the clearances were down 9-1, Isaac.
No, and I think you've got to play Danger centre bounce, and then he can float forward. That's where his biggest impact is.
Short kick to Myers. It came from Cameron. Cameron sprinted forward. He kicked to him just inside forward 50, but a free kick to the Bomber in the contest.
We talked about, would this be a full dress rehearsal? Just seeing how Geelong have set up, maybe for Essendon it is, but seeing how Geelong have set up, it doesn't look like it. They've got some players playing out of position, some interesting guys rolling through the centre bounce, so it'll be an interesting watch to see how they line up round 0. Keep this round 0, it's a killer.
And you talked about the pressure, Isaac. One good sign to show that the pressure is really high is when the opposition's kick the mark, kick to handball ratio is right up, and they've had 23 kicks for 40 handballs, so they're forcing him to over handball at the moment.
Short possessions. Myers finds himself with the footy in the centre of the ground. Hand pass to the running Stewart. Whistle. Early whistle. Stengel's got it. We heard the umpires exclusively mic'd up, of course. for Triple M footy. I heard the name Stengel, and he's going to get the free kick in the marking contest. Only about 10 out.
It's a gimme.
And there's the Harvey Norman replay.
No, not a hell of a lot in it.
Let it go, you reckon?
Anyway, Tyson's pretty happy. Might just pop one home from here, and he does. The Joel Selwood end of the ground and puts the Cats second on the board. 2-1-13 plays 4 straight goals, 24. With about 8 minutes left to play in the first term here. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Drew, what are Caldwell stats? It feels like...
Eight disposals, Izzy, throwing 3 clearances and 3 score involvements.
What about Dylan Shield? He started pretty hot.
Yeah, 6 disposals and he's going at 140 metres gained.
Well, the eyes are working. Seeing it, which is nice. But at Caldwell, he looks good. We talked about Geelong centre bounce before, but Essendon look like they're set up their centre bounce really well. They got Merritt in there, and Caldwell's done a hell of a lot of damage early, but they're certainly getting first look at it with Draper, and Essendon fans will be happy, and they'd be happy to see this early in the season.
19-minute mark of the first term. Essendon leading by 11 points. Just joined us. Nick Martin's kicked a couple for the Bombers. Stengel with the last major for the Cats. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Draper down. And then out of the front of the stoppage, Merritt. A high burning ball inside 50. Oh, good sticky mitts there from Stewart. Takes a defensive mark. 30 out from the Bombers' goal. And then he squirts a little one to Bowes.
So Stewart did start in the midfield at the opening bounce, but he's gone back into defence now as well.
Right out, push out, outside.
Nurses one to Neil. Was it centre half back? He gets a little drive-by here from Bowes, who gets the lofty iron down the line. The big men fly. Draper there. He mops up and he handballs to advantage for Shield.
Shield runs with the footy towards the wing. Got a little bit of space, and he's got young Edwards leading off half forward. He's hit him up beautifully. So he's on the boundary line about 65 out for the Bombers. Broadcast side of the ground. Squares it up inside forward 50. No mark taken. Fall of the ball, Nevitt for the Cats. Little hand pass to Jack Henry. Stood in the tackle. Hand pass off towards Guthrie. Missed him. Stewart comes in to lend a hand. Ball still in dispute at the bottom of the ground. About 50 out from the Bombers' goal. They pile in on top. Hobbs just shoved it out sideways. Atkins was waiting for it. Hand pass off to close. Then Stengel, instead of marking, tried to just punch it about 20 metres forward for the Cats. Dempsey goes at it close to the boundary line. Roberts with him for the Bombers. Roberts' little toe poke out towards Merritt. Little hand pass will come out back to Roberts, and then a kick towards Hobbs is punched out of bounds. Very, very close for Bob Jane teammates to Joey Pignataro down there.
Just about got me on first touch of the season, Baz. Nate Caddy, I don't think he's going to take any part in this opening term. Managed minutes, I reckon. You mentioned Tom Edwards and Peter Wright before. They played the back half of the VFL, so maybe we see Nate alongside his Parade College schoolmate Isaac Kako in the second half.
That a boy, Pigsy.
That's
Here down there this season.
I can't see Joey. Where is he?
No, he's not sitting in the Mickey Roberts' usual lofty spot next to the bench. He's gone rogue.
Has
he? Where are you, Pigsy?
I'm down here somewhere, but no one could see me even if there was no one here. Is he?
Stand up, Joey. He is standing up.
I'm not sure he wants to. He has to stand up to see over the fence. There's the kick down the line here, inside 50 for the Bombers. He's very fit. Centre to Koning.
Very fit.
And then blitz halves. High, worm-burning ball, and it's spoiled there by De Koning. Out of bounds, broadcast wing. If you just joined us, 21 gone in this first term. They got out of the gates early, the Bombers. Kicked the first 3, 2 to Nick Martin. They led by 18 points at one stage. Currently leading by 11. As the umpire spins the ball back into play. Draper and Neil in the ruck this time. Tap down to Harry Jones. He's slung around 360 by Holmes. Merritt out the back door. McGrath. Shield back to Merritt. Steps through the gate. And handballs back to Shield, who just immediately slaps it on. Zach Reed gave it to McGrath under pressure. Good tackle, Nevitt. Pinned the arm. Mowed him down. And the umpire says no prior.
Sam Shannon. Straight back, boys.
Enjoying that, Baz. I did. He balls it up and a little slap towards the boundary, and it'll go out of bounds. Sorry. Don't listen to me. Just an idiot. Boundary throw in on the wing. Broadcast side of the game. Just joining us, the Bombers are in front by 11 points, 4 straight goals, 24. The Cats are 2-1-13. And we got about 5.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter of the first Community Cup Series game here at GMHBA Stadium. Cats in possession. Dempsey Trying to get a hand pass to Dangerfield, and Sardis got in the way for the Bombers. Brought it to ground level. Harry Jones swooped on it. Hand pass Merritt. Hand pass Draper. Goes over to Durham. Durham tackled, dragged to the ground. Stewart gets in the way when he released a hand pass, which is all happening on the wing. Hand pass over the top towards O'Connor. Back to Holmes. That was slick. And with a foot, he tried to punch it out again to Dangerfield. But it was read off the hand nicely by Ridley. And he claims it for the Bombers and gets it over to Merritt on the wing.
Spearing ball. That centimetre perfect. Langford couldn't bring it down. The pressure came Blitzarves. Front and centre Nevitt. A driving 50-metre drop punt. Little fingertip on that one from Cameron was good. Stengel from 49 puts it out to grass. And back with the flight Cameron. Reels it in 20 from home.
Hey, it was accidental. Mark's here. Come out. 10 metres.
A little bit unlucky there, the Bombers. It looked like they were going to take an easy, uncontested mark. At centre half back, which they might have been able to launch back in attacking play, but just got a fingertip in, it got it to ground, and then the Cats were good enough to sweep up. And here's Jezza on the left.
He snaps on the left and he hits the woodwork. The left behind post. So his first behind for the afternoon. 64 majors last year for Cameron. Finished second in the Coleman medal. And the Bombers will retreat outside defensive 50 through Shield.
Shields kick partially smothered, bounced into Holmes on the wing. More sort of a flat sideways thing off the boot, but it worked all right. And the Cats with a mark about 45 out.
Harry Jones.
Well, better than a 45-degree angle. The superstar Dangerfield's got it.
There was a floater of a kick there, Baz, but it was nice to see Holmes just kick it in there. Geelong, as Stevie mentioned earlier, they've been over handballing, over possessing the football. They've been giving Essendon a lot of opportunities, and Geelong forwards are talented, they're creative, they're playing in front at the moment and they're creating space. So get it in there and give them an opportunity.
As he saunters in, just walks across forward 50. Paddy does, and his right boot's hooked very badly, and it just sneaks in for a point. 2-3-15 plays 4 straight goals, 24, 3.5 left to play. First term, Beacon Trade scoreboard. Tommy Hawkins, caught up with him. How's he going? Retirement?
Apparently he was running around the Barwon River yesterday.
Yes.
Not sure if he was breaking any records.
So he posted some stuff on Insta about going to the Super Bowl.
He'd been over in America, living it up, been to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if he paid for his ticket.
No, I think he did. Did he? Yeah. He was listening on the way in anyway. He was coming in and sent a text message saying that all 4 of us were speaking and communicating okay.
Thank you, Tommy.
Talk a little bit quicker, Tom.
What's happening, Tim?
Harry Jones has it live, Baz. He's got it on the broadcast wing. He sends it down the line, but Jack Henry just picks those off every day of the week.
He's been good, Jack. He's, I reckon that'll be his 3rd intercept mark already, and he's certainly been the Geelong standout defender at the moment.
Spot on, is he?
Stewart finds Blitzarves, who sends it to the outer side.
A couple kicked on him, I reckon.
He's feeling very supportive tonight, the two man. He's just got that tone about him tonight. As they go inside again, the Bombers, ball off hands. Langford there, he takes the advantage. Why not? Perkins out the open side, takes it 20 metres from home. 45-degree angle.
Be interesting to see where they play Perkins this season. We know he's a pretty dangerous half-forward flanker and a good size, but I think he's always wanted to be a midfielder. So whether that's this year, where they see him fitting in best to complement either their midfield or their forward line.
Debuted in 2021. So 5 years in the system now. Be expecting big things. He's on the runway here, Perkins. He starts at left. It's working. Oh, he's just snuck it home. Good finish from Perkins. Bombers get their 5th. They move to 5 goals straight 30. Geelong 2-3-15. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
No, it was really well done by Essendon there as well. Draper, he knew he was on Stewart. He knew it was going to be tough to mark. He ends up getting the free kick, but initially he didn't try to mark it. He palmed it down to Essendon's advantage, and they were able to get the ball at ground level and find Perkins on the open side. But that's what happens when you mature. They've got a really good coach now. They start to learn those little nuances. They're not necessarily trying to mark everything when they're under pressure. They're looking to bring their smalls into the game. They're playing a different mode of football by the looks of it. today than what they did last year. So I'm excited to see what they can deliver in the first half of this year.
And 5 majors from just 11 entries for the Bombers. And Dylan Shield, 12 disposals, 8 handball receives, 215 metres gained, leading ball winner on the ground.
Triple M Reds outstanding stats tonight with Ashley Chua. And, well, legend of Triple M footy. We structure the whole team around him. For McDonald to Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Cats win the clearance out of the centre. Long ball inside forward 50. Stenger was a chance. Shield got in the way for the Bombers. Hand pass over the top to Draper. Another one off to Dersmer, who's got space at half back, but he's kicked to Perkins as too wide. And it goes out of bounds on the full. And the Cats will bring it back in. Just a minute left to play in the first term. And the Bombers are up by 15 points.
Holmes. There's this one on the 45 and finds Graham Mars. Obviously got the wind up that it's the final minute. They're happy to soak up some seconds. And with that hooky action, he goes down the line. That's going to work out. Jezza. Good mark in front of Ridley. Just attacking side of that outer wing now. He wants to wheel him board on that trusty left. And now he darts a ball inside 50. Ollie Henry flies. Jones spoils. Caldwell worked off the ball. Nevitt out the back door. Blitzarves. Good handle here. Cameron, a little 1-2 with O'Sullivan. And then he retreats further back to Henry. And then slides it back to Cameron. He's bumped on the handball. A little bit messy here by the Cats. Myers tucked in on the boundary. Kicks it into 2-metre Peter. And now on the turnover, the Bombers.
Langford hand pass to Hobbs on the wing. You've got the running Durham, and he takes it and takes a bounce. Open forward 50. Looks up, no one home, so he just bombs it long to Kako. Running with a fly to the footy, went over his head, heads to the back pocket for Guthrie. And he works the young man off the foot. He did well to defend. A hand pass to Stewart. Siren goes. Quarter time here at GMHBA Stadium. The Bombers, 5 goals straight, 30. And the Cats 2-3-15 with Stevie J. Isaac Smith's here. Berg, Tim Solly, Joey Pignatara on the boundary. And ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Chua. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Melbourne, weekdays from 6. It's Mick in the Morning. Mick in the Morning with Roo, Titus and Rosie.
You know, there's that moment on Uber where they go, we're finding you a ride. Yeah. While you're waiting now, they pop up an ad. I can see it. There's 30 cars in the area, mate.
We show this for 15 seconds.
It's like, you know, when there's a wicket review pending? It's that. There's a review pending. We all know the answer. But in the meantime, here's 3 Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Start your day with Mick in the Morning. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's Triple M.
Back from a holiday road trip? Get your car checked at Rapid Tune. We'll keep you moving.
Moving house or moving mountains? Building a castle or transporting a DIY masterpiece? Budget takes the hassle out of truck rental so you can get to the good stuff sooner. Trucks, vans, utes and cars. Budget even has mine-spec vehicles and refrigerated vehicles. The right vehicle at the right price at 180 pickup locations Australia-wide. Whatever the task, finding your truck is the easiest part with Budget. Budgettrucks.com.au. Budget Trucks. Job done, good stuff.
Hey Brownie, did you see the massive hangar I took on Super Saturday Live?
Sure did, Bobby Hill. Fox Footy has exclusive live Saturdays every round in Victoria. Available on KO Sports.
Super Saturday Live on KO Sports. Get on board.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. The famous National Tiles Spend and Save is on now. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Or spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Yes, the more you spend, the more you save at the National Tiles famous Spend and Save. But you'll have to be quick. So rush into a National Tiles store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save.
Win a tour of a lifetime with the Herald Sun and Inspiring Vacations. Plus get a $100 voucher for entering. Buy the paper, find today's code word and enter at winwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Meet Ezra. Shh. Oh, sorry. With a family asleep, he likes to use his nights to get on top of his tomorrow.
It's my me time.
And tonight, it's his re-time.
Refinancing? Who knew it would be this easy?
With Macquarie Bank, you can get a home loan quote in 3 minutes. And with rates on the move, it's a great time to make the move.
Sorted.
So get ahead of your tomorrow and find out in minutes what refinancing could save you. Search Macquarie Home Loans or call your broker so you too can say,
I bank with Macquarie.
Lending criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
4 out of 5 young people impacted by cancer
feel distressed and alone. But there's a flip side to cancer, thanks to Canteen. Help Canteen provide life-changing support for young people impacted by cancer. Get involved at canteen.org.au.
Tell the sun to get. I'm trying to sleep if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
Get Ampol Foodery's Crave and Save. Just $6 for a 4 and 20 Traveller Pie or Classic Pie, 160 to 175 gram, and a drink from the 250ml V Energy or 600ml Mount Franklin ranges. Crave and Save, only at Ampol Foodery. Ends March 4th. See ampol.com.au for details.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Well, it's quarter time here at GMHBA Stadium in the Community Series, and the Bombers, they lead the Cats by 15 points at quarter time. Stevie J's in the house with Isaac Smith, Big Tim Solly, the two-man's here as well. Gonna head downstairs for Bob Jane's team, Joe Pignataro. A bit of news coming out of Port Adelaide.
Yeah, Baz. Zach Butters, according to Mitch Cleary, Chief Footy Reporter at Channel 7. Touch and go for round 1. He pulled up a little bit sore after their practice game. That was the Power against the Adelaide Crows. They've decided after scans to send him in for an arthroscope. Touch and go for round 1. And just on a couple of other teams, Callum Mills, of course, the captain of the Swans, he's going to miss the first 4 games of the season. He's had a scan reveal a tear in a plantar fascia. Of course, we know what happened with Callum Mills at the start of last year and in the finals of 2023 as well. So a couple of injuries coming out of both Sydney and Port Adelaide, Baz.
Triple M Reds landing stats with Ashley Chua. Ash, what are some of the interesting numbers at quarter time here?
Cats leading the inside 50s 14-12, but as we mentioned, Essendon very efficient with their goal scoring efficiency, going at 42%. That's about 20 above the league average. 5 goals from the 12 entries individually. Dylan Shield with 13. Draper, he's the number 1 ranked player. 9 disposals, 4 clearances, 7 hit-outs, 4 to advantage. And Isaac Kako Baz, 5 disposals, a couple of score involvements, and of course, a major.
5 goals to 2 in the first term. The Bombers' way, Stevie J and Izzy. What do you think?
Yeah, you can't question the Bombers' effort. They've been sensational, playing real speed, and when the ball gets in their front half, their pressure's been elite right at the moment. With the Cats, I think they just need to take a little bit more control of the game, maybe take some uncontested marks and just take that pressure away from the Bombers, make them defend the open ground, move the ball across the line and off the line, and then lower the eyes going inside 50 a little bit more than what they have, and I think they'll their conversion ahead of the footy will be a bit better in this second quarter.
Yeah, spot on there, Stevie, and I really enjoyed the pressure of Essendon there. They were forcing Geelong, you talk about the uncontested marks, but they were forcing Geelong into those over handballs, and it was bringing Martin, Caldwell, Kako into the game, and it's exciting if you're an Essendon fan. You're sitting back listening to this, guys, not watching, you'd be listening to it.
Absolutely.
But sitting back listening to it and seeing that Essendon have got some real talent, and if they can win this centre bounce, because the game now, the way the AFL have set up the games of football with these rules that Steve Hocking brought in a few years ago, centre bounce is crucial, and Essendon have absolutely dominated in the first quarter.
It's the voice of Isaac Smith alongside Stevie Johnson. 2 Norm Smith medalists in the house tonight. Triple M Seabus Supers, as we're back in the middle for this second term. Let's get underway for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Tap down Draper. Sardis snaps around the body, but it's cut off at half back by Dempsey. The Lightning start in that first term. What are his numbers, Stu, for those that have just joined us?
7 disposals.
He gets it off to Myers, who chisels a little ball into the spine. Good build up this by the Cats. Holmes at full tilt. Sends it out to the open side, and Zach Guthrie has it just outside attacking 50. He looks inside. He holds up for moments. The leading patterns have been held up, so they move the chest pieces again, and then he spits it inside off the hands of Dempsey, who had it moments ago at half back. Stengel handballs back to Dempsey, right next to the behind post. Gave it to Neal. Drops it in the tackle. Numbers here with the Bombers. A Shield just measures a little delicate one to the back pocket.
So the Bombers 5 straight goals 30. The Cats 2-3-15. To start this second term. Essendon work it outside their defensive 50 towards Hobbs. He's spoiled. Got one in the back. Blitzarv's got it at half forward. Hand pass off to Nevitt. Over the top to Myers. Little short ball is okay towards Cameron. Just worked underneath it a little bit by Merritt. Did well, the skipper for the Bombers. And he claimed it on the bounce and then kicked back in towards the centre of the ground. Up goes Caddy. Didn't mark. The ball hits the deck. Never goes again. It'll hand pass to Cameron. Another one comes back to Henry. That's Jack Henry, who goes wide to the boundary line and finds Mullen, who marks about 55 out. Went for the short pass along the boundary line about 20 metres towards close and punched out of bounds.
We talked about it at the break there, Stevie, but also in the first quarter. It looks like Geelong defenders have tightened up there and they're able to lock this in their forward half and get multiple opportunities.
So opportunity here for the Cats. They trail by 15. Ball tossed in. Draper from a standing start wobbles a torpedo outside 50. Picking up the scraps with Stewart. Sends it out to the open side. The big fly came from Neil. And he clunked it in the sticky mitts, 30 from home, straight in front.
Yeah, that point you just made, Isaac, it looked like in that first quarter the Cats were really zoning off and just giving their opponents a little bit too much space. So that quick kick that comes outside defensive 50 has been mopped up a lot of the time by the Bombers, but they've tightened right up. They've allowed their spare to get more dangerous, and then they're able to win it back and go back inside 50 on that occasion.
So Neil to the Colac end. He steers it. And he steers it out to the right. One behind.
The Colac end.
Colac end? What do you call that?
Usually the river.
End?
But Barwon River.
Barwon River. Yeah, it's the Colac end of the ground, isn't it?
Colac's a fair way away.
That's all right, Timmy.
Hobson.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah, graphically just sort of going to a new level there.
Yeah, robe.
Kick to the half forward.
You're into the ground.
Cut off by Jack Henry.
Adelaide.
South Australian.
The Barossa.
Out of sight, and Roberts has got it for Essendon.
The Perth end.
Yes. Yes, it would be. That end of the ground. And Caddy's on a lead at half forward. The ball sort of floats his way, but it floated wide and wandered out of bounds. Sullivan tapped it out. So early stages, second term. And the Bombers still hold a 14-point lead.
It's not that far away, Colac, is it?
No,
it's been a long summer.
It's all right.
71 kilometres, Tim, for Red Zed.
71, thank you, Stu. I knew you'd be all over that.
Irrawillippi out that way.
45-minute drive, not too far. Next to win, Chelsea. As the Bombers go back inside 50, back with a flight. Guthrie is the young man Tom Edwards. Got it out to Durham, who snaps across his left shoulder, and he's missed the lot out to the right. So scores will remain unchanged. Essendon 5 goals straight, 30. Geelong 2-4-16. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Jack Henry from deep back pocket kicks outside, and Nevitt marks nicely.
That's one of Nevitt's strengths. They talk about his pre-season. If he plays a bit of footy this year, they'll be looking to use him on that contested mark, especially that release kick out at D50.
Kick to the wing is cut off by Mackay for the Bombers. And he marks. He kicks backwards towards
the Colac end.
At the Colac end of the ground. Pryor, former Lion, picks it up and kicks to Merritt on the wing. How's that going tonight, Ash?
Triple M Red Z lending stats, 11 touches.
The skipper goes backwards to Ridley. He goes short to the centre, McGrath. McGrath seems to have had plenty of it, Ash.
Racking up plenty of the pill. McGrath, he's had 12.
As Mackay measures the ball down the line, and Martin kicked for 2 goals in that first term. He's tucked in on the boundary, 60 from home.
Caddy's out.
Sends the kick into the pocket. That's favouring Henry. Caddy had a run and jump at it, Stevie, but Henry does what Henry does.
I think that's his 5th mark off Oppo boot.
Short ball towards half-back is okay. Cameron will mark. Doing a lot of work up the ground tonight, Jez.
He can't help himself.
Yep. He just loves getting where the footy is. Little short kick is okay.
I'd be sending him home at half-time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Baz.
That's enough.
He lives at that end as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Jeremy Cameron end.
Yeah, Jeremy Cameron end.
That's somewhere towards Perth.
Where's he positioned himself at the moment?
Where is it? Where's his...
You haven't been out there, Stevie?
I was out there 2 weeks ago.
I don't particularly want to give away.
I was going to say,
Everyone knows.
We're not talking addresses, we're just talking suburb.
I'll tell you what, the Freshwater Creek Bakery end.
Okay.
That's where Jezza
Yeah, Freshwater Creek.
Freshwater Creek, okay.
There's a Barbie every Sunday. We'll give you his address. And
I'll tell you what, the sponge cake's out there. I'm going out there tomorrow to pick one up for my daughter's birthday party.
I'll tell you who doesn't need sponge cakes. That's Tim.
Oh, come on, Barry.
One for you, one for the party.
You and I love sponge cake, Gary. That's what we do at half time.
Off that.
As he snaps around the body here, Caddy.
Have a look at me.
Close. Handball out wide for Myers, who spits a low flat one on the chest of Stengel. Wants to get and go. He's looking inside 50, lowers the eyes. That's a good hit up and finds Neil. 45 from home. He's going to feed it into the pocket for Danger, who stood tall against Mackay, copped it in the back, and pulls down the mark next to the behind post.
What's he go here, is he? Left foot snap or the right foot nani?
Left foot snap.
That's your angle. Mark's there, play on.
So Stevie J used to eat these for breakfast, and so does Danger. He snaps it straight through the middle. He's got his first for the night. And the Cats just creep back that lead. They're 3-4-22. Essendon 5 straight 30. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, it was beautiful there by Geelong. The unselfish nature of Stengel there to hit Henry up on a little kick. Neil up on a little kick, and then Neil to use Dangerfield in the square. But what you don't want as a veteran in a pre-season game is a young bloke kicking in and sitting it on your head and letting an opposition player who's playing for a spot in his side to put a knee straight in your back. So I'm surprised Danger even took that. I thought he might have just sort of let it go behind him in a pre-season game.
They look to be controlling the footy a little bit. I know we spoke about it at quarter time. They took 21 uncontested marks in that first quarter. They're already up to 15.
Yeah.
So they're really spreading that ground and using the footy a little bit smarter.
That's in 6 minutes, is it?
Yep. 6 minutes. Bob Jane teammates, Joey.
Into the Essendon rooms. He might be done. I don't think it's anything other than managed minutes. Nick Bryan on for his first run of the night, Baz.
Sorry, Joey, who was that? We just missed
Peter
it.
Wright. He
Peter
played
Wright.
that back half of the VFL game and the first quarter of this one.
Right, mate. So the kick out of the centre for the Cats is marked by Ridley at half back for the Bombers. McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The kick was smothered, though, by Ollie Henry, who sort of toe pokes it towards full forward. Ball spills to Bowes. He sort of pulled the kick in the end, looking for his target. The Bombers will reclaim. Hand pass comes out to McGrath. Goes out wide and hand pass off to Reed. Hits outside the outer side of the ground, and Durham takes the mark. What did Jezza do wrong?
He went back with the flight. You don't need to be a hero today, Jez.
Yeah, hand pass off to Ridley, who drives along with a drop punt to half forward for the Bombers.
Target Tommy Edwards, ball off hands, it flicks out wide, it's mopped up here by that man Bryan on the ground. The spore came Guthrie, but Caddy on the second bite of the cherry takes it in the right forward pocket.
It's exciting, this bloke, isn't he? He's not too sure where this is going to go, but he as in his career, but he looks exciting.
Oh, definitely. He's a good size, a real good size. He's got athleticism. He's got a real hunger for the contest.
Yeah.
Going to kick a lot of goals in his career.
The number 30 sends it goalward and sends it home. 9-minute mark of the second term. Caddy gets his first. Essendon 6 goals straight, 36. Geelong 3-4-22. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, it was really good to see the way Essendon moved that out of their defensive 50. Geelong had defended the broadcast side really well. They'd got their backs up on the outside. So Essendon were blocked, but they were able to then switch, go out the other side and take the game on. And we were joking that Jeremy Cameron nearly got himself in hospital by going back with the flight, but they moved the ball, they saw where the space was, their numbers were able to get there, and they get this opportunity to kick a goal, and it'd be great to see them continue to do that, back themselves in the season to do that instead of just bombing it away when they're under pressure, and then that therefore puts you under more pressure.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Isaac Smith there, joined by Stevie J tonight, GMHBA Stadium. And for McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocks footy, bounces good, tap down to ground level. DeConning goes onto his own footy and claims it. Just hand pass wide of the pack was okay. A kick out of the centre will head towards half forward for the Cats. Whistle goes. Blitzars went to ground. Advantage paid. Stengel's got it 45 out. Has a look at the goal square. Open. He has a crack. Ridley drop back and marks on the last line for the Bombers. And there's no score for the Cats. Little short pass to McGrath, and Essendon are away.
They sure are. He measures that one wide. And now they exit D50 onto the chest of Harry Jones. How do you like him on the wing, Stevie? Went into that role last year. In fact, that one's Dersma. But how do you like Harry Jones so far in that wing role?
Harry Jones was pretty close to not receiving a contract, to then having a really solid second half of the season where he's an oversized winger, but he's got good endurance. He can push forward and hit the scoreboard. So they'll be hoping to keep him fit. I know Nick Cox is out of the team at the moment, but And the other player that's really important for him is just taken, a couple of intercept marks in a row is Jordan Ridley. He's one of the best defenders in the competition. They'll be seriously hoping that they can keep him fit.
Myers from the stoppage. His kick partly smothered. Dempsey taken down. Ben Mackay does the mop up. Got it to Brian, who's in the ruck at the moment. He sends it down the line, and Guthrie over the top of Langford spores it out of bounds. True centre wing on the far side in front of the Reg Hickey stand. Travelled 11 minutes in this second term. Bombers by 14 points.
It's going to be interesting look, Stevie, this year. Their forward line, they've got Caddy down there who's young and developing. They've got some smalls, but they're going to need some goals out of their midfielders and blokes like Jones rolling down from the wing to have impact for Essendon this year, because they are missing probably that real key forward. I'm not sure if they're fully backing in right this year or not. That's going to be an interesting watch as well.
So Nick Bryan in the ruck slapped it down, but it's punched out towards Dempsey for the Cats. He kicks the half forward. Roberts gets in the way for the Bombers, dragged down in a tackle. The ball spills out to Hobbs. His hand pass under pressure goes to Atkins, who's at half forward for the Cats. Kicks a high one to the pocket. Mackay ran back with a fly of the foot. He didn't complete the mark. Tapped it to Blitzarves. He said, "You're guilty." He just rolled along the ground 10 metres and put it through for the Cats. They get their 4-4-28. The Bombers 6 straight goals, 36 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. And we're midway through the second term.
Yeah, you're right, talking about that Essendon forward line. I mean, you take Jesse Stringer out of there. There's 40 goals that you're going without straight away. They relied very heavily on Langford last year and in previous years. So Caddy really does need to stand up. We see Martin's playing down there tonight. They've used him mainly on the wing. We know he pushes forward and hits the scoreboard from time to time, but I think understanding that they were 18th in the competition for forward half pressure, they need to make sure they get it in there, get it to ground, and allow their smalls to do the work and maybe create some turnovers for their midfielders to then get involved and hit the scoreboard.
Voice of Stevie J, Triple M Seabus Supers. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. He bows, burrowing his head down. Got it out to Blitzarves, almost threw it out the front of the stoppage. Myers knocks it out sideways. Twisting and turning O'Connor. Wants his right slipper. Sends it high and long inside 50. Neil, 1, 2, 3. Takes it on the third bite. 35 from home on a 45.
Is that on Ridley there, Stevie?
I think it might have been, is he?
Yeah,
he's got big shoes to fill, doesn't he, the big cowboy Neil?
He does, and we talk about Ridley. He is one of the best defenders in the competition, but Neil looked really good there. He looked really strong. He set himself. He got his legs set. He was able to move the Essendon body out of the way and take the mark.
He missed one moments ago to the Colac end. Can he make him pay this time? He lines up, he sends it goalward, and this time it is straight as an arrow. Neil gets his first. Geelong 5-4-34. Essendon 6 straight 36. We've got a ball game, gentlemen.
I walked past him down Packington Street the other day. He is a big unit.
Yeah, he's a monster. Absolute monster. He's 200 plus. He'd have to be every bit of 110 kilos, I would have thought. And he's slowly growing into it. He was very raw when Geelong got him. He was an elite, an Australian level 800 metre, 400 metre runner. So
that doesn't surprise me, because I went out and watched training a couple of months ago, and his old man was over from Perth, and he was running 800. Yeah. I don't know how old he is.
He's fit. Yeah.
He could play on a wing in an AFL team.
Positives for Geelong for Red Z in this quarter. In clearances, they're down by 10 in this term. They're +2. In the inside 50s, 11-3. The Cats way in this quarter.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. 10 minutes left to play in the second term here at beautiful GMHBA Stadium. Looking a treat with a new stand all up and running. Stengel's got it. Little hand pass back to O'Connor. And a short ball to Bowes in the centre of the ground. He marks right in the middle. And he keeps the eyes low. Who's moving? And it was Cameron. Drops back with a fly to the footy. Nick Bryan was coming, didn't get there, and Cameron eyes on the footy, took a nice mark. 55 out.
Go the barrel.
Yeah, give the fans
Come on.
To go short or intimated.
I don't think Scotty's not going to drop him if he has a go at a barrel here.
It's pull kick.
He's wanting to do the team thing. No, he's done the team thing. And no mark taken by Bose. Tried to slap it down to Humphreys, didn't get there. And Bryan ends up with it, gives it to Sardis, who hand pass off towards Shield at half back for the Bombers. And delivered it nicely onto the wing. And Langford marks for Essendon about 5 metres inside the boundary.
Some of the leading ball winners, two-man, on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Dylan Shield with 16, McGrath 14, and for the Cats 15 to Bowes and 14 to Myers.
This ball's off the hands of Jones. We'll head downstairs in front of you, Joey Pignataro for Bob Jones Teamuts.
Just watching Tom Edwards, the SSP player, his night might be done. Walking down the Essendon interchange again. He played the back half of the VFL game. 4 goals. School teacher from Perth. Now he's a listed player at Essendon.
Nice pigs. There's Jones down the line, and that's a big pluck by Brian, who's just been activated into the game. He squirts a little low flat one onto the chest of Langford, just the 15. He's crept forward on the mark there, Blitz subs. He's done very well. So he's going to have to kick this every bit of 52.
I reckon he's got it in him too. If he hits this sweetly, we know the breeze is slightly going down to the Joel Selwood stand end.
As Stevie mentioned moments ago, he was their leading goal kicker last year with 43 majors. Another behind him was Jake Stringer, who's no longer here. He loads up, he gives it a good belt. That's high, it's long, and it's out to the left. So one behind. They're first for the night here, the Bombers. They've been accurate. They're 6-1-37, Geelong 5-4-34. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It was nice to see Brian make an impact down the line there as well. Turn quickly and hit Langford up on the kick, because we just spoke about clearances and centre bounces. Geelong have got on top this quarter, and he's done a lot of the rut work. So impacting around the ground is a positive.
Nice long kick from Guthrie towards the outside wing. Sardis had it, lost it. Stengel, clean hands for Holmes. Spills back to Stengel. His kick was smothered. Goes a third time. Claims it. Clean possession. Umpire lets it go. And Mullins got it with a short, but in fact Meyer got it with a short ball with the chest of Bowes. And now a long kick inside forward 50. Cameron. Oh. Well, he was caught in front. Big leap from behind. No mark. And the Bombers clear it from half back with a kick out towards Dersma. The outer side runs off half back, but he ran straight into Stengel coming the other way. He reclaimed. Been involved 4, 5, 6 times lately. He had no mates. Spun around trying to give it off and took too long and ran into Gresham, who dragged him down in a tackle, and the free kick to the Bomber at half back.
It's got a bit too Hollywood there for Stengel. There's Dersma, Jones, and now Nick Martin. That's wide, and Kako. Oh, he's marked that just millimetres inside the boundary.
Wayne Harm style,
well, I wouldn't go that far. There's Caldwell. Handballs into the centre square. Picking that one up, Reed. He got it out wide. Langford retreats by hand. Caldwell off a step. Pokey little ball towards Kako, but couldn't get there. Chopped off by Blitzarves, who spits a little one onto the chest of Myers.
So about 7 minutes left in this second term. The Bombers 6-1-37. The Cats 5-4-34. And the Cats have fought back. The Bombers led by 15 points at quarter time. They've worked it forward to the wing. Guthrie's got space. He looks to the right forward pocket. Nice, Jeremy Cameron. The beautiful floating drop punt. Straight into his arms. He marks on the boundary line, 40 out.
He practices these.
Yeah, you knock it down. You just mark this down now, I reckon.
As much as anyone I've ever seen.
An exciting year again coming up for Jeremy Cameron. No Tommy full time now. Inside forward Fitty. So he looks at the... squares himself up.
45 metres out.
Yep. Hooks it back. Backed him in, did Stevie J and Izzy Smith, and they were spot on. That's why they're the best in the business. And Jeremy Cameron's not bad either. He puts it through for a goal. And
that was two centres, though.
That was 3 points up. The Cats have hit the front. 6-4, 46-1. The Bombers. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
The Bombers, as we talked about in that first quarter, were playing with a heap of speed on the ball, whereas you see now Geelong's tightened up. They've also been able to get numbers back behind the footy and win that ball back. And then it was methodical then, the way they just took uncontested mark, uncontested mark, uncontested mark, and then went inside 50 when the opportunity presented itself. And that's the right way to control the game, but also take away that speed and energy that the Bombers played with in that first quarter.
You talk about that uncontested mark. Zach Guthrie, he runs past, could have got the handball received, but runs past 15 metres and gets that uncontested mark. He's the one that hits Cameron. It's obviously a clear instruction to make sure it's a kick rather than a handball.
Last three to the Cats. Hit the front by 3 points. 20 minutes gone in this second term. Back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Ball tapped down. It's cut off by Nevitt. who sends the kick inside 50 over the head of Stengel out the back. Cameron bobs up again, sliding to the turf, takes it 40 from home directly in front.
There wasn't much, I think it might be Dersma that was then opposed to Jeremy Cameron. There wasn't much that he could have done there. It was just that kick inside 50. And Jeremy Cameron, he's one of the best forwards in the competition because he's constantly on the move and he's just that one step ahead of his opponent.
So he snapped one from the boundary. Can he do it from dead in front? He sure can. Cameron gets 2 in a minute. Geelong extend their lead. They go to 7-4. 46. Essendon 6-1 37. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Jeremy Cameron, number 1 ranked player in this quarter, but for the game, 15 disposals, 8 marks, 3 inside the attacking 50, and throwing 2 goals.
You said at quarter time, Stevie, the Cats would keep it off the Bombers in their second term. A little bit of chipping around, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, so they've obviously, it's a clear plan, and you can see it from here. The Bombers just speed on the game. The pressure was really good. Their pressure inside 50 was really good when they got it in there, but now the Cats just they've got that experience under their belt. They can change the game. They've got different styles that they can play with, and one bit of that conversation at quarter time must have been, let's keep the footy off the Bombers. Let's make them defend the whole ground, and we're smart enough to have that connection to build the ball up, and we'll still score.
Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. Stevie J tonight with Isaac Smith. And from McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocks footy out of the centre. Go the Bombers. Off hands, Caco's got it. He's squared up a little kick towards his skipper in Merritt, and Humphrey's gotten away for the Cats and dragged down in a tackle. The umpire will ball it up. It's about 40 out from Essendon's goal. So the Bombers searching. The Cats have kicked away a little bit. The Bombers 15-point leaders at quarter time. The Cats have reclaimed. The whistle goes and a free kick will go to Perkins, will it? And it does. So Perkins for the tackle is rewarded. He's about 40 out on a slight angle.
Yeah, it just looked like O'Sullivan there, just tried to barge through. He didn't have a lot of time with the footy in hands, but as soon as you sort of put that hand out to try and don't argue the opposition, that's prior opportunity.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
So Perkins kicked one in the first.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Just call the holding the ball straight away.
Yep. Just the fact that you said you liked it, we liked. so Perkins.
Were you ever in that much traffic in your whole career?
Come on, here we go.
Just got out of there that quick.
Perkins. 3 seconds, slots at home, about quarter post high. No one was on the line. He's kicked the goal for Essendon. They go to 7-1-43. And the Cats say lead it by 3 points, 7-4-46. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, about 4 minutes left to play in the first half.
Well, Stevie was talking then about the uncontested marks just before with Geelong taking the pressure out of the game, and Essendon were going at a world record pace there at above 260 in the first quarter. They're now down back to 160, so their pressure's really fallen off, which has taken away from their game. It's taken away from their effectiveness inside forward 50, but it was nice to see them get a goal there. But Geelong have certainly been on top this quarter, and they'll want to get the game looking more Essendon-type football, so it'll be interesting to see what they can reset at half-time.
What's the league average, Ash, last year for pressure? The Bombers are down to 160 now.
Yeah, 180, Baz.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. It's a little shoveling out there from Bowes. Got it towards Atkins. Knocked off the ball was Hobbs, and then Atkins dives on top of him. We'll have a stoppage.
Those numbers really mean not much to a lot of people listening, I'm guessing, but any time you're over 2, however they measure the pressure gauge, 2's a good number.
A lot of the times when Ash says something, I just nod my head and go,
Known to have a stab at it every now and then, Baz. The numbers.
Oh, sorry, I snorted. Poor radio.
We're inside 50 again for the Cats. Martin just jams one outside the 50. Tumbles past Langford and then Caddy. Just got worked off it there by De Koning. O'Connor took on the tackle, slippery hips. And then a right football inside 50. Neil went one paw at the front read. Handballs it out in the path of Shield, who gets it to Durham. This is good build up by the Bombers. Merritt through the corridor. He's coughed it up. Humphreys got tackled. Ball loose. Merritt swoops. And he sends a left football back to this broadcast wing. It's in the path here of Dersma, who lowers the eyes and puts it into the hands of Perkins.
Caddy.
He's already kicked two. He sends it out to the fat side of that man, Caddy. Oh, met front on. No whistle coming. Yes, it has. It came late.
Came late.
O'Sullivan ran into him.
It came from Colac. It's the fourth umpire on the field.
The whistle came all the way from Winchelsea.
I heard one voice yell at the third tier of the red chicken stand. Hey!
There's two umpires within 5 metres of that contest. Stevie could see it from all the way back here. The umpire down in Colac has called it.
And he called it right.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
For his second for the night, Caddy fires at goal. And he doesn't disappoint. Caddy's got two. And with 2.5 minutes left in this second term, the Bombers regain the lead by 3 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And it was good play there by Essendon. Mark O'Connor, who Mitch Nevitt tagged Zach Merritt in the first quarter. Mark O'Connor's gone to him in the second quarter. Mark O'Connor was the one that entered the ball inside 50 for Geelong, but Merritt was able to then get loose because O'Connor had the ball. He impacted twice in there. He saw the space on the open side, used his beautiful foot skills to get it out to Dersma, and then he was able to deliver that inside 50. So what I really liked about that is when you're getting tagged, notice when your man's getting drawn to the ball. Merritt he's as good at it as any player in the competition, seized the moment and created a goal for Essendon.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. So the Bombers reclaim the lead. Bombers, that'd be. Thank you, Stevie. Reclaim the lead by 3 points. Cats work it out of the centre. Bose has got a 50 out open. Goal square goes long and slots it home. Cats back in front. 8-4-52. And the Bombers, who just reclaimed the lead, are 8-1-49 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, I reckon I'm tipping Jeremy Cameron might be coming off at half-time. Is he? Because he's been up and back. I'm watching him. He's going from back pocket to forward pocket. You know what happens if you don't get your kilometres up in a practice match?
Yeah, I reckon they've said to him.
They make you, at half-time, do conditioning on the ground. So he's thinking, stuff this. I'll get my Ks up. I'll go in, have a hot spa and
get a rub down.
And he loves a meat pie after every game.
Does he?
Cameron?
Yeah.
Ritual.
He's probably thinking he's going home for a quiet night, and then he realises the Triple M boys are giving his address out earlier. Everyone's popping around.
Meat pie and barbie sauce.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought so.
That's a choice, barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it is a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice I wouldn't make. There's McGrath out of the middle here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Gets it to Hobbs. Drive by Caldwell. He spits a low flat one into that. Hands a caddy again. He wheels and goes immediately. Darts it into the pocket. And Langford, gluey Jukes, pulls it in. A metre in from the boundary, right forward pocket.
I like that. I like that he took the mark outside 50 and rolled straight away. It maybe wasn't the best. Sorry, Stevie, you go.
This is the toughest pocket at Cardinia Park.
The new stand will help. Not much breeze.
How should he handle this, Stevie?
He's going to... I think he might pull the kick.
He's pulled it, top of the square. You're exactly right. Over the back, caddy. Spilt the drop mark. Now at ground level, De Koning got it up to Bose, who feeds it out the back door. And Stewart, with a steady head, spears it towards Cameron. He got one mitt to it. Mackay took on the Holmes tackle. Kako, slippery little handball out the back. Got it to McGrath. And now from a standing start, Shield. It's a high one. He's dumped that. And it was all Cats. And easy as you like. Lawson Humphries takes a chest mark.
Switch it.
It feels like, Stevie, it's something that Essendon have worked on over the summer, though, where Caddy takes that mark. He knows that there's going to be a defender forward coming in behind him. If he rolls and they're outside 50, they'll be able to connect straight away on that skinny side. So some teams call it a triangle offence, some teams call it something else, but it looks like they've got that play up their sleeve during the season. But pressure in AFL games is a little bit different to pressure in pre-season games, but we're certainly seeing it work tonight.
Harry Jones for the Bombers worked it back into the centre. And Ridley with a long ball to full forward. Caddy up won't mark. There's a big pack down there now, about 30 out from the Bombers' goal. Langford's got his head over it. Mullen underneath it done well for the Cats. He passed it out sideways towards Dempsey. Worked away from it through Martin. Humphries gets in the way again for Geelong, and he just throws it onto his right boot. The ball bounces out of bounds, and Stengel Happy to see it over.
He's certainly their target, though, this year, Caddy. I don't know, Ash, if you've got the numbers, but it feels like they've gone to him 8 or 9 times inside 50.
Come back to you very shortly.
Oh,
he hasn't.
no.
Caught napping.
Stumped him.
What? The wind turbines aren't on. No energy coming through.
Nothing coming through. Switch off the grid in front of the red chicky stand. Cats will surge this forward again. Neil flies but couldn't pluck it. And there sounds the halftime siren here at GMHBA Stadium. Geelong 8-4-52, leading the Bombers 8-1-49. 2 goals to Cameron for the Cats and 2 goals to Perkins for the Bombers. We've got Isaac Smith in the house with Stevie J, Barry Denner, Ash Stewart, Joey Pignataro down on the boundary and Timmy Solly. That's your call team here for AAMI Community Series at half-time here in Geelong. It's the Cats by 3 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
This year on Mick in the Morning, we're giving away the biggest prize on radio. And it's worth over $70,000.
Bang, you got that right.
One listener will be driving away in a brand new Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. So we've named it Mick in the Morning. Genius. Be listening to Mick in the Morning each week to find out how to win Mercedes-Benz Waverley in a class of its own. Visit the award-winning team at 769 Springvale Road, an easy 8 minutes from Chadstone.
Energy bill got you cowering in fear? At Tango Energy, we get it. Life's expensive. That's why we're making bill time easier on your wallet with our low rates. Right now, Tango has some shockingly low rates on offer. And we've made the switch easier than ever with our online sign-up that takes just 2 minutes. Plus, with no lock-in contracts or exit fees, why wait? You could start saving now. Visit tangoenergy.com to see the rates for yourself.
Tango Energy.
4 out of 5 young people impacted by cancer feel distressed and alone. But there's a flip side to cancer, thanks to Canteen. Help Canteen provide life-changing support for young people impacted by cancer. Get involved at canteen.org.au.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Safety within budget. That's our promise at Bob Jane T-Marts. This month, we've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumho free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cash back on select Pirelli tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Exploring the journey to starting a family, unlocking nutrition tips, and finding ways to stress less and live more. Health hacks. That's news to me. Visit the Herald Sun today.
Tell the sun to get. I'm trying to sleep if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
Get back to work with Bunnings Trade. Grab a Makita 18-volt 2-piece brushless combo kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and charger. Huge value at just $449. Available in-store or online. Bunnings Trade. Helping business is our trade.
Want unmissable savings? Then visit Chemist Warehouse now. Restock the Med Kit with Neat Effect 3B Anti-Itch Cream for $10.99 and Meebo Burn Ointment just $24.99. What a relief! Naproxen Pain Relief Liquid 30 capsules is only $18.99 and Pain Away Fort Plus Ultra Pro Joint and Muscle Pain Relief Cream is just $20.99. For great savings every day, come home to Chemist Warehouse.
At Beacon Trade, you're in good hands. We've got you covered with a huge range of lighting, fans and electrical, plus warranties built for trade and backed by Beacon. Partner up with Beacon Trade and let's make light work.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Ah, yes, the Cats, very nice. They were 6 goals to 2 in the second term, and they led it by 3 points. 8-4 plays 8-1 in the Community Cup Series opening game. The Bombers and the Cats here at GMHBA Stadium. Stevie J's in the house with Isaac Smith. Just a lazy 7 flags between them. A couple of Norm Smiths as they relax back in and reflect on their career. So, yep, we were pretty bloody good, weren't we?
Couple of soft rolls between us, and that's just talking about it half.
That's it. A couple of snagger rolls. I had half a pie. Tim had about 10.
They must have been Steve.
Anyway, that's
delicious, Barry. They were delicious.
The two-man's here, and he's got the stats, the halftime stats, Ash, for Red Z. And what do they tell you about this 3-point Geelong lead?
Well, I'll tell you what, Baz, these are the positives here for Essendon. We've spoken often about their goal-scoring efficiency. It's an area Brad Scott wanted to improve this year. 8 goals from 22 majors, so 22 entries, I should say. 36% goal-scoring efficiency, which is 16 above the league average. Bombers also +6 in contested ball and +8 in clearances. But for Geelong, that second term, as Stevie spoke about, they increased their uncontested marks. 21 in the first quarter, 29 that second, but the bulk of those uncontested marks were in the first half of the second term, and they got on top in the clearances at +2, and they dominated territory, 18 inside 50s to 10. Just some leading ball winners, Baz. Jack Bowes, he's the leading ball winner on the ground. 21 disposals, a couple of clearances, 440 metres gained, 1 major. Myers with 16. Jeremy Cameron, he was the #1 ranked player in that second quarter. 15 disposals overall, throwing 8 marks and a couple of goals. Max Holmes with 14 disposals. Jake Henry, 12 and 8 intercepts. And for the Bombers, 18 to Dylan Shield, 16 to McGrath, 15 to Merritt, 14 to Caldwell, along with 4 clearances. Sardis, Baz, only the 7 games last year. Remember, pick 5 in the 2022 National Draft?
Yep.
He's had 14 touches, 40% by foot. And, of course, Isaac Kako, 8 disposals, Baz, a couple of score involvements. And he's kicked the goal as well for Red Z.
This is the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. That was the great Ashley Stewart. We turn our attention now to Isaac Smith and Stevie J. And Cats, nice little term, 6 goals to 2. They lead it by 3 points, halftime.
It's been a pretty entertaining game of footy thus far. I mean, we talked about it before the game, but both teams have gone in pretty close to full strength. The Cats missing Bailey Smith, Cam Guthrie, Tanner Bruin and Sean Manor, and the Bombers are only really missing Darcy Parish, Laverde. Goldie played some time in the twos, so it's been just laughing.
No.
It's been a pretty good game of footy, and we're seeing enough from both teams. We know the Cats are going to be thereabouts again, but a really distinct style of footy from the Bombers, where they're looking to take the game on. They've got halfback flankers getting involved in the play, and their efficiency going forward's been pretty good as well, Isaac.
Not allowed to laugh on Triple M anymore, Tim.
No, it's just Timmy.
Stevie's got his serious pills on in the off-season.
Be careful around Stevie J.
Was that you that was
laughing?
Timmy was laughing his head off. I don't know what are you laughing at?
Might have been Shoe Man in the back, I reckon.
It's just, anyway, I tell you what, we've got Joey's come up to the box here, Joey Pignataro, and you got the sides for tomorrow night, Joey. Who's playing? Richmond and Collingwood.
Richmond and Collingwood, the Charity Shield game tomorrow night, Icon Park. First you'll hear the rush hour and then you'll hear the boys call all the action on Triple M. Braden Maynard not going to be playing for Collingwood. They're just concerned about a slight foot injury, but he should be fine for opening round. Jordan De Goey, touch and go for next week, definitely not playing tomorrow night. Mason Cox will miss with a finger. Sam Lawler, the #1 pick, he's going to miss in concussion protocols. Tom Lynch is also out for the Tigers with his own concussion issues. And the big news earlier in the week, Dion Prestia, an Achilles injury, another one for him, so he'll be out for the Tigers tomorrow night. Baz.
Thanks, Joey. Izzy, how'd you see it that first half here?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see Essendon really bring the pressure in that first quarter, and if that's what Essendon fans are going to see this year, it's exciting for them. The brand of football they were playing, they were keeping the ball alive, they were using their quick feet, quick hands to access inside 50, locking it in and really ramping up the pressure. I just heard Joey speaking then about a few of Richmond's outs, and it's concerning for them. They're a young side, and it'll be interesting to see what team they can roll out round one, because they're going to have probably Tom Lynch possibly out, Dion Prestia possibly out. Bolter, as we know, is out due to his indiscretion over summer, so they could literally have a team running out that's average age under 20 years of age, so that's a big watch there.
It's tough on Adamusa, isn't it, because massive raps on him coming into the coaching game, and the list, we knew Richmond's list was going to change. I mean, the era was turning over. It's a tough time to come in, but he's got the opportunity, and I suppose it's patience with building back a young team, Stevie, and being able to compete at the higher level of the ladder a little bit later on.
Yeah, they're trying to reinvigorate that list, and I think they've done the right thing. They moved out some senior players who probably had another 4 to 5 years left in the system, and brought in some young talent. So you've got to be patient with these young kids. You've got to get 50 games under their belt, between 50 and 100 games, and then you can expect them to be playing some consistent AFL footy. So Adamuze, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him, but it's going to be pretty harsh as well, because you have to think that they're going to find it very hard to win games of footy this season.
Half time here at GMHBA Stadium, and it is the Cats who lead the Bombers. They're 8-4-52. Essendon 8 goals, 1-49. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Melbourne, weekdays from 6. It's
Mick in the morning.
It's the show with Mick Malloy, Nick Rewalt, Titus O'Reilly and Rosie Walton.
Doesn't give me any joy. Hooters have filed for bankruptcy.
Good news is there's 2 in Australia that we can go to.
Are they still open?
One's in New South Wales and one is in Queensland.
Penrith.
Yes. Yes.
Ground zero for Big Badungas.
Start your day with Mick in the morning. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's Triple M.
Back from a holiday road trip? Get your car checked at Rapid Tune. We'll keep you moving.
Attention, drivers of Victoria. This is an AAMI road safety announcement from Billy, aged 9. Kids are now back at school. This means more people crossing streets and more cars on the roads. Please stay alert and follow the speed limit to keep our roads safe. Your community thanks you.
Lucky you're with AAMI.
AAI Limited Trading as AAMI.
Finding the best schools and teachers in my area, discovering new extracurriculars, plus back to school advice. Education updates. That's news to me. Visit the Herald Sun today. Discover the joy of family connection in the 7-seat hybrid Mazda CX-80. Now yours from a great drive-away price of $59,990 for the CX-80 G40E Pure. Enjoy 3 spacious rows, hybrid efficiency, and the reassurance of driving ANCAP's safest large SUV of 2024. Visit your local dealer to test drive the Mazda CX-80 today. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See mazda.com.au for details.
At Bunnings, we make it easy to bring your kitchen together. We've got the range of modular cabinets that are ready to go, straight off the shelf. Come in store and chat with a kitchen expert. You can choose the colours and profiles you like, and we'll help you bring it all together with a kitchen from Bunnings.
Tell the sun to get I'm trying to sleep in if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get and block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get and block out the light, screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
At Officeworks, we won't be beaten on price. If you find a lower price on an identical stocked item, we'll beat it by 5%. So you can make bigger things happen with Officeworks. Price be guarantee, exclusions apply.
Hello, bank.
Hi, I found this really great house I want to buy, but I just...
Let me guess, need more money.
Yeah, could you just look at my numbers and...
Just looked, no house.
Really? Well, Athena had a good look at my numbers and they say I can afford the house.
How do they find that?
Friendlier policies and experts who actually want to help?
Sorry, can't seem to find those here anywhere.
No, didn't think so.
Athena's Aussie-based experts work with you to get the place you really want. Go to athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us.
Great value mobile from TPG just got greater. Now with double the coverage. Switch to Australia's best mobile provider, TPG.
See TPG website for coverage and details. Best provider based on Whistle Out Award for Mobile Provider of the Year 2024. T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Half time here at GMHBA Stadium, and after trailing by 15 points at quarter time, the Cats have bounced back. They're leading 8-4-52. The Bombers 8-1-49. We've got Stevie J and Isaac Smith in the house tonight covering this one off, 2 Norm Smith medalists. Gentlemen, pre-season, it's a good time to throw the magnets around. Have we seen anything here tonight from either of the coaches that's caught your eye?
A little bit. Young Nevitt started in the centre bounce. He went to Zachy Merritt early, and that was one that probably caught my eye a little bit. They've been talking about how good of a pre-season he's been having. The other one is O'Sullivan. I'm stuck here. O'Sullivan.
It's all right.
I've lost my names there, but he was up forward at one stage. He cleaned up Jeremy Cameron in a contest, and then he was running down back. So they throw Mark Blitzarves around in that role where he can be down back, he can be up forward, he can play in the ruck. And I wonder if they're trying to possibly do a similar thing, try and get him into the game, especially being young. You want to get your hands on the football, you want to be able to tackle, but it looks like Geelong are trying to activate a few of their young guys in the game. So, and that's Chris Scott he likes to throw the magnets around, he likes to move players, he likes to pull little tricks to pull the opposition apart a little bit. So, it's been interesting. I think a few of the players, the way they've lined up, they might not line up round zero like that for Geelong. And I think they'll be more settled in centre bounce. It looks like they've thrown the magnets around a fair bit through centre bounce. So I'll be interested to see. Stevie, on the Essendon side?
The one for me that looks like it might be a real bonus for them in this coming year is Dylan Shield off half-back. They come out and said very early in the pre-season that Dylan Shield was going to get the opportunity to play off half-back, and we know he's got a lot of speed. He's played a lot of his footy through the midfield, and it might be just the lease of life that he needs, being able to be attacking and work off his direct opponent and get involved in chains of play. And we've seen that they want to put speed on the footy, and that's exactly what Dylan Shield gives you. So from what I've seen tonight, it looks like it might be a good move.
Steve, you want to talk about the elephant in the room. Peter Wright off at half-time. 19 majors last year. He kicked over 50 in 2022, won the Crichton Medal. I was chatting to Zachy Merritt in the off-season. He's saying he looked in good touch throughout the pre-season. He's off here at half-time. He's played a half in the Magoos as well. What's actually happening out here with Peter Wright?
Well, you'd have to think that, if he was in their best 22, he probably starts at the start of this game. He's one of the most talented players on their list. We've seen what he was able to do 2 years ago, but I think there is some big concerns around whether he gives them a big enough contest ahead of the footy, and that's why they love young Nate Caddy.
And so with him out and Jake Stringer now at the Giants, how do they make up these goals from what we've seen tonight, Izzy?
Yeah, it was interesting. We talked about their pressure being 18th in the competition last year, and we also talked pre-game about their forward half entries, their forward half ball movement, and Brad Scott certainly made some noise about that over the summer, and it's something they've been working on. So they probably have gone a little bit smaller in their forward line. You look at what Hawthorn did last year. They probably didn't have the key targets, especially with Mitchell Lewis out, that you'd desire as a coach. They certainly didn't have a Jeremy Cameron type, a Joe Danaher type in their forward 50. So you think they might go a little bit smaller. That means you can usually move the ball a little bit better. It means you can get a bit more pressure on at ground level. You can set up a bit better behind that once the ball enters your inside 50. So I know Champion Data have only got Caddy down for 2 targets inside 50. I can count 4, possibly 6 or 7. So it looks like he will possibly be the focal point of their forward line, and then you'll have Langford floating around, and we've seen Draper float down there if he's not in the ruck as well. But then you've got these smalls that are all floating around at their feet. You've got Martin, you've got Kako, you'll get Gresham in when he's playing. So you're going to have some good smalls at their feet and some good smalls that know how to hit the goals. And Durham's the other one that's played a fair bit forward this game, where I'm sure he'll play a fair bit of midfield time. But I like that Essendon are going a little bit smaller. They're getting a little bit more speed in their forward line.
I want to talk about their fitness. They just look a touch fitter. There's been a lot made about Essendon a couple of years ago when Brad Scott came in that they weren't fit enough, and he put the pump on them over the off-season, said you've got to come back fit. Looks like they've come back again in decent nick.
Yeah, well, I think at some points throughout last season they were interrupted by some key injuries, and they do have a list that can certainly challenge. I mean, we've seen what they were able to do for, the most part of last season. They've got some real seasoned players on their list. Langford, Shield, Setterfeld, haven't seen much of him, but Ridley, Durham's a gun player. There's enough there to work with as a senior core group to then bring along this young talent that they've also got on their list. It's actually been around for 3 or 4 years now. So I think if they can stay injury-free, they can certainly compete with the best teams. But if they do drop away and have 4 or 5 injuries, I think it's the depth of the Bombers right at the moment that's the biggest concern.
So we're about 30 seconds away from the third term kicking off here. What do we expect to see in this second half, gents?
Well, I think Brad Scott will want to get back to more of what he saw in the first quarter. It's been a tale of 2 quarters where Geelong dominated the second quarter, Essendon dominated the first quarter. The concerning thing for Essendon would be they've had minimal inside 50s compared to Geelong. Geelong have now dominated that stat of the game. So I think you'd like to see them play a lot more forward half football, get the ball in the hands of his prime movers and hit the scoreboard. So it'll be interesting, but he'll certainly want that pressure up as well. It dropped away in the second quarter.
We might quickly head downstairs for Bob Jane T-Marts. Joe Pignataro.
Timmy, Lewis Hayes is going to play the second half for the Bombers. I'm not sure we're going to see any of Peter Wright or that SSP player Tommy Edwards to get the third term underway.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Sardis out of the centre. The tap went his way and he just kicked the high ball to half forward. And flying was Durham, who took the mark about 60 out. So just in front of his opponent. Puts his shoe back on and kicks out wide here across half forward to Martin, who was explosive in the first term at this end of the ground for the Bombers. The Bombers go to the right of our broadcast position. Tap down towards Kako. He grabbed it and he tried to break the tackle, couldn't. So he snuck out a hand pass. It was a turnover. Another one comes out to Bowes for the Cats. A quick kick outside defensive 50. Martin slaps it back towards McGrath for Essendon. Ball ended up with Markin, a little chain of hand passes, and Martin kicks a nice ball. Just squares it up to centre half forward where Harry Jones led about 45 out, virtually directly in front, and he took the mark.
Well, that's going to become one of their scoring methods that we touched on. That long kick in, Caddy's always going to give you a contest. He found a way to get that ball to ground when he was in an outnumbered situation, and then the pressure come and the layers of pressure forced Geelong to quick kick out of their defensive 50. They win it back with their extra numbers outside that forward 50 and square the ball back inside to take an uncontested mark. Their winger that's pushed down.
So Harry Jones steps up 49 metres out, half post high, drop punt, and he's hit the post. Got the woodwork. The Bombers go to 8-2-50, 8-4-52 of the Catters. Early stages third term. That's all on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
What I liked about Martin's initial kick inside 50, that long one, was most teams usually kick it to Stewart's advantage. He put it on Stewart's head and there was a big contest. Ball hits the ground and they get that opportunity.
Jones from the centre square sends it inside 50, and there's the pluck from Durham, floating across in front of Jack Henry, and he'll go back for a set shot from 25 out directly in front.
Maybe he'll be their target.
Yeah, for a small bloke, he's very, very good overhead, isn't he? I think that's the third or fourth mark he's taken, where it looked like it was probably going to go half a foot over, and he's got a big jump and reaches those arms up and very clean.
Kicked the first goal of the match to this end of the ground, the Margaret River end of the ground.
The Johannesburg end of the ground.
The western end. He's on the runway. He hits it pretty well. And he loves it off the boot. Durham's got his second. And Bombers hit back. They're back in front. They're 9-2-56. Geelong 8-4-52. Early stages of this third term on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
And we talked about it leading into this quarter, that what Brad Scott will want to see is he'll want to see that forward half football. He'll want to see them lock it in. And being involved in AFL footy, that every time you go inside 50 you're not going to score, but Essendon did a fair bit in that first half, so they'll want to give themselves as many opportunities as they can a game. You want to be hitting 50, 60 inside 50s a game to really compete, and they've already had 3 this quarter in that many minutes.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, Stevie.
And we talk about that front half turnover. That's where those scores have come from. So get that ball in, but then set your defence behind the ball. That's been the question mark of the Bombers for a long period of time.
Advantage paid for the Bombers in the ruck contest, and McGrath bounces out of the centre, runs to 55. Caddy's in the square one-on-one. Ball punched away from him by Kolajasny. And towards Jack Henry. Rush kick into the back pocket. And work it out. Dempsey grabbed it and then fell to the ground and hand passed it. Missed a teammate. The ball rolled out of bounds. Did well. Boundary throw in. About 35 around from the Bombers' goal.
Draper's pushing down there. You wouldn't be surprised if he tried to pluck it out of the ruck here.
Brand new scoreboard for the Cats this year out there. It's a massive looking unit. Not on the night though, Stevie J.
No, it's brand new.
Saving power.
Just looks new.
It wasn't there 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, it's huge.
Good when it's connected. As we're inside 50 here for the Bombers again. Henry goalkeeping on the last line. He goes the inside out, Boo Nana. And he puts it onto the chest of Close. He wants to go the switch now. Why not? They've got 3 out that open side. Stewart measures the ball to Guthrie. He dances his way from half back and then squirts one towards Dempsey. A little paw in there was good by Reid. He opts to soccer off the deck now. Back up to half forward, Kako.
Yes.
Couldn't trap the worm-burning ball, and now on his knees, Humphreys got it up towards Guthrie, who's held up by a couple of Bombers. We'll have a ball up left half forward here for Essendon. They're kicking to the right of the dial, the western end of the ground, and they lead by 4 points.
Good hit out for both of these clubs coming into the season proper. Holmes at the back of the pack. He hand passed over his head but went straight to Merritt, who dribbles one along the ground, a 30 out from goal to Langford. He stands with a footy, waits for the option, and it came from Harry Jones, who marked about 46 out on a slight angle, and he'll go back for a set shot.
Yeah, you go. I'm not sure if that's the handball Scotty'd be after.
I was going to say, it's got to be looking at that to have a chat about that one as the ball kicked to the pocket towards Merritt, and it didn't reach him, and well done Guthrie, who just wrapped it up for the Cats.
Mark, Sam.
So thrown in the air. The Bombers about 40 away from goal. Tossed up. Draper tries to tap to the fat side. Bose gets in the way to defend. Hand pass close to the boundary line, and running it out of bounds. The Cats away from their defensive 50, and a boundary throw in. Nevitt did the final work. And it's about 65 out from Essendon's goal. The Bombers up by 4 points, and we're 4 minutes into the third term.
Ball on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard. This ball spins back in. Draper to the front. Jones had the jumper pulled. Got it away in time. Ducking through the tackle. Shield, and then Hobbs is held up by Nevitt. We'll have a stoppage at centre half forward here for Essendon. Umpire gets it on with it quickly. Draper down only as far as Bose. Out the back of the stoppage. He gets the right slipper on it, but he's coughed it up to Martin. What are his numbers, Two-Man, on the Triple M Red Sets?
16 disposals, 2 goals.
Sends it out to the open side of the captain, Merritt. He'll want to swing onto that left and cut it back into the spine. He looks now and sends a lofty one in towards the pocket. Caddy was the target, but good body work by Kolajasny.
Oh, tough there for Caddy. Kolajasny's a seasoned defender and knows how to use his body, but that's Essendon 6 inside 50 this quarter to Geelong 0, and Geelong dominated 32-22 in the first half. So the Essendon box over there would be very happy with what they're seeing in this first 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, Jasny kicked out here to the wing. Roberts got in the way. Set of field. Little hand pass to Jones. Another hand pass over the top 15 metres. Players wrap each other up, and the umpire will take it from Sardis. Close to the boundary line. He'll ball it up. Still 55 out from the Bombers' goal. Lost in the air. Draper down to Hobbs. Got tackled. Lost it in the handle. Atkins picks it up. Got legged. The umpire paid the advantage. He got it out to Close, who hand passed to Myers. Cats on the run through the centre. Stewart's got it. Punched out a hand pass 20 metres to Cameron. Give it to Holmes. 55 out. Vacant goal square. Drop punt goes to the right. And just sneaks in for one behind. The Cats 8-5-53. The Bombers 9-2-56 as we're 5.5 into the third term.
What'd you say there, Stevie?
Well, it looked like Geelong actually only had 4 forwards ahead of the footy, so they put 2 up around the stoppage. And then when they got that first handball out, they just went in a wave, and they knew they had to run and carry it, and Holmes absolutely took off. When you talk about him being one of the fastest players in the AFL, he kept getting ignored, and he finally got onto the M1. Just missed.
So they make a meal of it here, the Bombers. Reid got the handball up Ridley. Pokes a little short kick. Shield. It's been good tonight off half back. A driving kick down the line, and Langford competes well from behind and spalls out of bounds in front of De Koning, in front of the Reg Hickey stand on the outer wing. Travelled 8 minutes in this third term. Bombers 56, Geelong 53. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Spins in, does the footy. And underway again. Blitzar's behind, got a fist on it. Setterfield in front for Essendon. And his rush kick across the body will land straight onto the chest of Holmes. So Holmes, who marks on defensive 50 virtually, goes back to Tommy Stewart. Having a nice little run tonight, Tommy. That's an important player on that Cats back half. Goes short and finds his man on the ground in Clark.
Has Clark just come on?
Yep. Ash had his first touch.
Spot on, Baz.
He kicks the Neil forward to the wing outer side of the ground, and he's been pretty imposing all night, the big fella, and he takes a nice mark.
Sure has. He's filled that hole from Tomahawk nicely as he goes inside 50. Mackay box seat off his hands, stripped by Close. Stengel lurking, but the Bombers will turn it back over. A high ball back outside 50. Stewart in the front spot against Durham. Gets the left paw in and knocks it out of bounds on the outer wing.
Where do you reckon Stewart's going to play the majority of his footy this year, is he?
Back half. I think, he got tagged a little bit last year, and I'm sure it'll come this year as well. But what they know they've got up their sleeve now is he'll start in the centre bounce if he has to, but he'll float back straight away, and they'll start someone like Holmes on the back flank, and he'll push forward. So he is the premier, maybe one or two others in the competition defender. So, you talk about intercepting and your ability to rebound. You want Stewart behind the footy.
Triple M Super special comments. Isaac Smith, Stevie J, just quality. Boundary throw in on the outer side wing. Nick Bryan. If you've just flown in from another country, that's his name. Two first ones, Nick and Bryan. Bryan being the surname.
Do you reckon his nickname's Smithy?
Well, just for giggles. It's across half back to Kolodjasny, and he's got it. Just a lot of chipping round in this third quarter. Clark receives it from Kolodjasny.
There was a Geelong player back in the day that had that, wasn't there?
That's Joel Corey. Smitty.
So, Brian Myers with the footy. He goes short to Holmes, who continues to rack him up, Ash.
Certainly does. This will be disposal number 18.
Sends it out to the broadcast wing. Dursman front spot. At the spill was Humphreys. Got it up to O'Sheen Mullen. The Irish toe poke inside 50 through the hands there of Martin. He went back and found it though. That was good work. He was under the pump, got caught on the wrong side, and then he sends the kick out. And a good mark taken by Dursma.
Stand, Mark, stand.
About 3 centimetres inside the line in the right back pocket. Have you seen his footy so far since he's come across from Port Adelaide?
Sorry, I was just watching this. A little kick out on the full, and that's his second one tonight at GMHBA Stadium. He won't be the first, the last opposition player to do that this year. I think he's played some pretty consistent footy. I thought he was serviceable last year, and certainly something to work with.
Humphreys sends it back inside 50. Mackay was there. Bryan got the handball out. Mackay again, and then a slippery little handball sideways. Was disguised pretty well, and it's out of bounds. What are you giggling about, is he?
No, the crew in the back row are making some jokes. So.
You do see a lot of these teams that don't come down here very often. The amount of times they kick it out on the full, is he?
Yeah, so often. And it was one of the strengths that you could set up defensively, and if you set up correctly, you knew that you'd force it because it was especially the far boundary, it's directly straight.
Nick Martin runs out of half-back for the Bombers, kicks out of the wing towards Gresham. Zach Guthrie gets in the way, punts it out towards Ollie Henry. He's gang tackled and dragged to the deck. Gresham sits on top of the pack for the Bombers. The umpire will ball it up.
What about you, Stevie, with Dursma?
I think he was a very good prospect at Port Adelaide. I think he's still got a little bit of room to grow at the Bombers.
Yep.
I like the old celebrations.
Does he get the bow and arrow out anymore, though?
He doesn't kick enough goals now.
Yeah, true.
Yep. The kick off the ground or bounce through for a point, and I thought it was a legitimate question, Tim. I can't believe you got ghosted.
Yes.
It was a legitimate question. If the ball goes through for a point.
Well, it wasn't. He didn't get ghosted.
No,
He just kicked it out on the full, and we were just saying what happened there for a moment back.
He is a bit flat, Tim. 8-6-54.
It's like I'm not here, Barry.
9-2-56. Triple F Buddies trade score.
Might as well pack up and get out.
Come on, big fella. Chin up. Let's go again.
There is that man, Dursma. Off hands.
Can't drop the bottom lip. First thing in the first game
not
of
in the
It's
pre-season.
not his Community Cup.
Do you like the move of O'Connor on ball? Is he?
There's another pause.
I don't mind it. No. Usually when O'Connor goes on ball, he's tagging. So they're not necessarily looking to get drive offensively off him. They're looking for a defensive role, and they'll usually bring it forward up and try and generate a bit of impact off that as well. So depending on the team you're playing against and depending on who he's going to, then it'll depend on the move.
We're in the middle here. Langford, the wave of Bombers running forward. Gresham Goes with the fly, takes the mark 60 from home. Bit of time here for Geelong Fence to leak back. A driving one towards Caddy, who pulls down a good mark 20 metres out directly in front, and he'll go back to kick his third.
Thanks, guys. 10 metres on the side.
Well, he's only been targeted twice, so no, it's and we talked about it at half time with. What are you laughing at, Matt?
I don't know. This is getting real loose.
Sorry.
But we talked about it at half time that he'll probably be the Essendon player that they'll want to target a lot.
So Caddy to the Colac end.
Yes.
And he does it. Caddy's got his third. Essendon 10-2-60, leading the Cats 8-6-54. 9.5 left in this third term on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Well, he's the type of forward that, as a defender, you do not want to give a good run and jump at the ball because he's obviously 6'5", but those levers, they can reach up and pluck it out of the sky. And as we've seen, his goal kicking tonight's actually been a real feature. He's kicked very accurately, and he's in for a big season, Caddy. It looks like, as you said, he's going to be the number one key forward. They're proving to put him ahead of Peter Wright at the moment, which is a big call.
But I think he's showing that that's the move they want to make. If it's for the future and they're looking to be a really successful team in 2, 3, 4 years' time, that you want to be getting these guys as the prominent forwards, because he has launched at the footy, he has created options, he has forced the Geelong fenders into making mistakes. You mentioned earlier he got one of his goals from a free kick, so I really like what they're doing with him at the moment.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Bombers force it to the outer side wing. And Mullen and Clark go at it for the Cats. Still a fight for it. It's on ground level. Harry Jones has got it. Tapped out of his hands. Still close to the boundary. Umpire wants to ball it up.
I reckon we're due for a bit of Kako magic.
Yeah.
Been quiet for a while.
Yes, she exploded.
Small forward.
Yep.
You know.
Yes.
I only need a minute.
Gresham's got it. He kicks it into the head of Harry Jones. It bounced off his head, and Harry picks it up and just throws it onto his boot. Martin off half forward. Tommy Stewart's with him. Tommy worked it off, worked the footy off him. Mullen's got it. Underground hand pass comes out to Clark. That was clever. Goes over the top by hand, and Bowes rode the bump and then tapped it behind him towards Duncan, who gave it to Myers, who drills it inside forward Fitty. And dropping back and taking the nice mark was Mackay. Cats fans didn't like it, didn't think he had enough of it, but he was pretty happy to be claiming it was Ben.
Yeah, I think that's pretty harsh. He had a good firm grip on that mark. It was a strong mark, and it was quite courageous.
Mackay finds Lewis Hayes, who sends his kick further down the line.
There's been a bit of talk about Essendon's forward line tonight, and Caddy targeted 7 times, Langford 4 and Kako 3. So it is a different look, and Langford probably went from the number one target last year, Peter Wright the year before, but I feel like they've genuinely found what they're looking for.
And Wright, you reckon that's right, what they've done? Not Peter Wright, is it?
No,
you like it?
I really like what they're doing.
Stengel knocks it forward for Atkins, cut off McGrath, and then they share it around by hand. Hobbs just outside the defensive 50, loops one high, but it's into the bread basket of Oisin Mullen. Immediately hand passes to Stewart, who was driving by. It wasn't pretty, didn't sit for him. And now McGrath again from defensive 50, handballs out wide. They'll just keep inching their way down the line. Gresham, true centre wing on the far side. He loads up. It's a high ball. Caddy runs, jumps.
Kako.
Got one mitt to it. Where are you, Kako? Stevie J needs ya. As Bowes turns it over. Myers sells some candy. Spits it straight down the corridor. Misses the target. Then Mackay mops up. Loopy handball for Dersma, and they'll attack back through the corridor.
So Dersma goes back to Hobbs, who kicks out here to the wing. No mark taken. Martin at the fall of the ball. Tries to work it out. Still in dispute. Punched out sideways to the pack. Clark's got it. Got it to O'Connor. Little short ball to Myers. And Myers takes a mark on the wing for the Cats. Squares it into the middle to Atkins. And Atkins marks and plays on. Drills a beautiful pass to the leading forward in the great man in Jeremy Cameron, who sprinted to about 45 out. Hit him up beautifully. And he can go back and have a set shot.
He's certainly not giving this one off. He ran to the middle of the ground and didn't turn around. So I think Jez is in that mindset now that he's getting some touch in for round 0. He wants to go back and try and knock one over from about 52, 3 out.
Bombers lead by 8 points before the kick, 50 metres out. The drop punt's going to have the distance, but not the accuracy. Just floats to the left and through for a behind. 8-7, 55 now, the Cats. The Bombers 10-2, 62. With about 6 minutes left to play in the third term on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Two men, some of the Triple M Red Z lending stats catching your eye?
Yeah, positives for Essendon. Their pressure rating's up 184. Last year was at 177. Plus 15 in contested ball and plus 13 in clearances.
Bombers outside 50. Duursma met heavily by Holmes. Nevitt robes it and then got it out to Clark, who handballs forward. And Holmes bobs up again. Left foot ball into a dangerous spot, but good defensive relieving mark is taken there by Jackson Pryor. And Pryor will steady himself. He measures a ball towards that man Duursma. It was too heavy. Through his fingertips and out of bounds at left half forward for the Cats.
He's played well tonight, Pryor. I reckon he's put himself into some good defensive positions. I really like that one there. He got in front of Stengel. It nearly looked like he was the forward leading for the ball. So I reckon Essendon and Brad Scott, they'd be happy with what they've seen tonight. I don't know what his impact will be this year, but they'll certainly be happy with that.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Izzy Smith with Stevie J tonight. There's a kick towards half forward for the Cats. Merritt on hands and knees, punched it out backwards. A rush kick out for Essendon. Atkins in the way, dragged down in a tackle, didn't get rid of it. And the free kick will go to the Bomber, and that's Duursma. And he's got it on defensive 50. So Duursma looks left, looks right, looks to the middle, still not sure. Now called to get on with it. Drops it onto his boot, plays the percentages, tries to kick it wide and puts it out on the full. Out on the full by about 6-8 metres.
Was that Duursma again?
Yes, it was.
That's his third for tonight.
Third out on the full.
Which is easy to do down here when you don't play down here often.
Scotty will be saying, we've got to work on that one. As Holmes will kick it inside forward 50 for the Cats.
There's a nice little impersonation of Scotty there, Barry.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
As Jackson Pryor racks up another touch, goes top of the defensive goal square to McGrath, who spears a bullet into the hands of Martin. Defensive 50. Low flat ball, beats Hobbs, but skids out the back for Gresham. Will it sit? He runs towards it, decides to toe poke it up. Setterfield, might be his first touch, and he finds your man, Stevie, Kako. 50. And the man on the marks move.
No advantage.
Here he is.
No.
They're going to take the advantage. Brian.
No, they've called it that.
No.
Yeah.
It'll take Kako right to the goal square, and he's injecting himself into the contest.
How well was that to draw the 50, though, Stevie?
Very smart. Just put the hand out, but didn't shift the feet.
This is going to be one of the great stories when he gets his career up and going.
So he was picked 13 in the draft. He was part of the Essendon James Hird Academy since age 13. He fires a goal and he gets the job done. Kako's kicked his second, and the Bombers have got their 11th. They're 11-2, 68. Geelong 8-7-55. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, he started the game really well. He was lively. He had some nice clean touches, some good hands, kicked the early goal. Since then, he's been a little bit quiet, but you'd have to think it's the last practice match before the first game of the home and away season, and he's finished with, well, he's got 10 disposals, he's 3 scoring involvements and 2 goals to this point. So what's that say, Isaac? Does he get a gig round 1?
Oh, he definitely gets a gig round 1. He's created so much space and opportunities, and you'd have to think that it's the last pre-season game before round 1. Because they've only got 1 pre-season game, so...
they played last week.
But no, you've mentioned and you've tapped the glass plenty of times because he is creating space and he's creating opportunities. They just haven't been able to get the ball to him. So I reckon you'll see him have a lot larger impact, especially towards the back end of this season when he finds his groove.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. So the Bombers out to a 13-point lead. 3.5 left to play in the third quarter. Cats tried to work it out with a short kick, smothered by Gresham, and he finds it at his feet, so he toe pokes it back inside their forward 50, Essendon. Stewart did well. Stood in the tackle, waited for the option in Nevitt, but his kick was smothered by Durham. Allows Gresham back in again. 30 out from the Bombers' goal, close to the boundary. Big Draper gets involved, split the pack, claimed the footy, rushed it onto his boot, and Nick Martin marks deep in the forward pocket, squares it up to Hobbs, and he's marked at about 35 out on a very, very slight angle.
You reckon Durham's Brad Scott's favourite player?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's as hard as nails, isn't he?
Oh, and he tackles, he smothers, he sets up goals.
Got polish.
Takes contested marks.
So Hobbs for his first goal of the night. As we said, the Bombers have skipped away in this third quarter. It was the Cats who had the lead by 3 points at half-time. A 13-point lead, and he's missed absolutely everything. Kicked it to the right and out of bounds on the full. Bombers, 11-2-68. The Cats, 8-7-55.
13 points to the favour of the Bombers as Humphreys wheels around the man on the mark and goes for real estate. Off the hands of Ridley, front and centre Bowes. Sends the kick to half forward. It's a big 2-on-2. Which way will it bounce? McGrath did well there. Knocked it out towards half back and then overran the pill. And Clark just soccers it towards the advantage of Stengel. He'll run inside 50, takes a bounce, goes the inside out, check side. Oh, that's goal of the night for the Catters. Stengel gets his second. Cats 9-7-61. The Bombers 11-2-68. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Andy McGrath was a little bit stiff there. He done all the good work, but then the ball just didn't bounce in his favour, and they were good enough to knock it along. And then Stengel, you thought at the last second he might just pull that kick back and centre it up, but a little bit of showtime for him. It's a tough kick, that one, where you're running towards the goals and you've got to kick it on the outside of the boot to control that. We know that he's one of the best in the business, and he seems to do it every time he gets the opportunity, so well done to him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and that that's a difficult kick for most people running at full speed, but he's so talented, and he's got such dexterity in his feet. So the hard thing there was Merritt, as you said, he did all the hard work, but he probably just needed to give it another soccer.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Blitzarves out of the centre, hand pass to Clark. They're on again, hand pass to Bowes. Kicks into the forward pocket. Not quite getting to Neil. Slapped down before it got to him. He legged to the pocket. McGrath for the ball. Good tackle on him. Pressure hand pass. Went straight to Dempsey. Hand pass to Myers. Spins around. Has a crack from 30. They got another one. Cats 2 in 30 seconds. And the game now within a point. The Bombers hold the lead just 11-2-68. The Catters 10-7-67. That's all on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard. And we've got a minute 53 left to play in the third quarter.
Well, one player that's had a small involvement in the last two goals has been Jai Clark. I know there's been some big raps on him. I know that he was one of their first picks in the draft a couple of years ago, Isaac. He's getting his opportunity through the middle of the ground right now, and it's a big year for him.
Yeah, it is. And he's been busy, True Man. If you get his stats up soon, he's been busy since he's come on. I feel like he's put a lot of pressure on. He'd have at least a handful of disposals, and as you said, he's been involved in those last two scores. But Graham Myers, his feet, his ability to navigate traffic, it looked like he was done for all money with three Essendon players around him there, and he was still able to slot it through from about 35.
10 touches this quarter for Clark.
Yeah, he's been busy.
So for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, the ball forward, and Kako. Strong, sticky mitts in front of Oisin Mullen.
And Mullen's a strong boy as well.
He's slow to get to his feet, the barometer. He's kicked so far. He's 60 out. He nurses this one towards his mate Caddy, who flies high. Got one hand to it, and Stewart around the back. Handballs to his teammate under pressure. Ball spills out of bounds. It was Jezza Cameron in the back pocket.
It was Jezza Cameron. I'll tell you why, because Jai Clark come off the ground after that last little involvement. Jeremy Cameron was the player that went onto the ground. He went straight into the centre bounce. I don't think I've ever seen him in a centre bounce. So
he did a couple last year, just a couple.
Okay. I didn't see him.
It's Sarves. Thumps it to half-back. Bowes has got it. Hand pass off to Duncan. And a little run, the veteran. In towards the centre of the ground goes the footy. Hand pass to Dangerfield. Back to Duncan. Two veterans combined. And now a kick just bounces towards the wing. And it goes out of bounds. So halfway between wing and half forward, the Catters. Broadcast side of the ground. There's seconds left to play now in this third quarter. And Essendon hanging on to a 1 point lead.
So it'll be Draper and Blitzarves in the ruck. Ball spins back in, favours Blitzars, but he muscles his way to the front. Draper, Setterfield, sweeping through. Got it up to Sardis. He's been impressive. His kick down the line spoiled by Stewart. Gresham tried to lay the hands on De Koning. And now Holmes, handballs wide for Blitzars, who stops and props. Got the drive-by from Guthrie, who just ran out of bounds and tried to disguise it. She was casual.
He nearly kicked it from row 3.
He did not want that ball in bounds.
All right, Joey, for Bob Jane Team Arts, what's going on down there in front of you?
I know it's a Tuesday night, Baz, and it's only a pre-season game, but the Cats fans up and about riding every kick, mark and handball. Is that what it's like down here, Izzy and Stevie? They love everything that's got to do with these blue and white stripes.
I reckon there was 10,000 here last week just for a little kick and a catch.
Yep. Big year for the Catters coming up, you'd think. And nice little hit out tonight against the Bombers. Boundary throwing. The umpire will call for a ball up. Just about 20 metres inside the line, if that. Thrown in the air. Draper and Blitzarves. Blitzarves probably got the better of it. Slaps it backwards. Holmes sort of bounced off his knee. Allowed Shield in, who tried to kick it off the ground. Follow his own ball. It's about 60 from the Bombers' goal. Shield's on top of the pack, and the umpire calls for another ball up.
How many's Bo's had, True, man? It feels like he's in the 30s.
Leading ball winner, almost 28 disposals, and he's kicked a goal.
Yeah, he's been busy tonight.
Draper, unopposed in the right, got out to Cameron, who sent one straight up the mine shaft. It's tapped forward, and he just ropes his own work here, Jezza. He'll get boot the ball, but the siren's going to beat him here. Three-quarter time at GMHBA. Geelong 10-7-67, trailing the Bombers 11-2-68. Stevie J, Isaac Smith, Barry Denner, Tim Solly, Ashley Turin, Joey Pignataro down on the boundary. That's your AAMI Community Series call team here. It's the Bombers by a point at three-quarter time. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Melbourne, weekdays from 6. It's
Mick in the morning.
Mick in the Morning with Roo, Titus and Rosie.
You know, there's that moment on Uber where they go, we're finding you a ride. Yeah. While you're waiting now, they pop up an ad. I can see it. There's 30 cars in the area, mate.
We show this for 15 seconds.
It's like, you know, when there's a wicket review pending. It's that. There's a review pending. We all know the answer. But in the meantime, here's 3 Kentucky Fried Chicken eggs.
Start your day with Mick in the Morning. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's Triple M.
Back from the holiday road trip? Get your car checked at Rapid Tune. We'll keep you moving.
Tell the sun to get. I'm trying to sleep in if you don't mind. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light. Screen away blinds. Screen away blinds. If you're working in the night, sleeping through the day, sun shining through your window and it just won't go away. Tell the sun to get. And block out the light. Screen away blinds. Screen away blinds.
Life's more fun when you add Supercoach. It's free to play and there's 50 grand up for grabs. No wonder it's Australia's best fantasy game. Visit supercoach.com.au and play today. T's and C's apply. NSWTP/01005.
Hello, bank.
You say you're a proudly Australian bank.
Advance Australia.
Fair, you keep piling on the fees.
We are good by fees.
It's not fair. You keep hiking up my rate, but keep lowering the rate for new customers.
In joyful strains, then
let us switch.
Oh, fair enough.
Australian homeowners deserve fiercely fair value. Go to athena.com.au and switch for your fair share of savings. Athena. Love us and leave us.
At Officeworks, get the Brother L3760 colour laser printer for $499 or a SanDisk 1TB E30 portable SSD for $127. We won't be beaten on price with our Price Beat guarantee. Exclusions apply.
Tools. Sydney Tools Preston grand reopening this Thursday. Load up your toolbox with mind-blowing savings. Crazy deals on power tools, hand tools, combo kits, air compressors, welders, laser levels and much more. Plus score up to $2,000 worth of bonus points. Massive savings, loads of prizes, food, demos and giveaways. Open till 7 p.m. at 23 Bell Street, Preston. Don't miss this event. Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed.
Australia's best mobile provider TPG now gives you double the coverage at the same incredible price. Search TPG Mobile to check your coverage and make the switch today. TPG.
Best provider based on Whistle Out Award for Mobile Provider of the Year 2024. T's and C's apply.
A person makes the time for what they love.
And we make the space. 1-800-GOT-JUNK makes the space.
We make the space for possibility.
The space for yoga.
The space for lifting weights.
The space for dancing.
The space for living your best life.
And what does a person need to do to make all this happen?
All you have to do is point.
We make space for possibility.
When you want to make junk disappear,
call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
or visit 1800gotjunk.com.au.
Telstra Home Internet deals are on now, so there's never been a better time to experience beautiful internet at your place. Find out more in-store or online. For new services only.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Ah, yes, three-quarter time here at GMHBA Stadium, and the Bombers, well, they lead by one solitary behind. 3 goals to Caddy, 2 to Kako, 2 to Durham, and 2 to Perkins. And on the other side of the ledger for the Cats, Cameron's got a couple, and so too does Stengel. Let's head down to the boundary and find a man who dominates the gym during the week, and he's been dominating the boundary tonight, Joey Pignataro for Bob Jones Teamarts.
Good on you, Vic Timmy. Ted Cloesy started the second half for the Cats, so he's going to play out the last quarter. Mark O'Connor, his night is done. Ice on the back of that right knee, while for the Bombers, Peter Wright and Tom Edwards both walked off the ground just before half-time. They also played a half in the VFL a little bit earlier on tonight. Just precautionary, just managed, which is good and positive news for Bombers fans. A bit of news around the grounds. If you're a fan of Port Adelaide, it's going to be touch and go for Zach Butters for their round 1 game after a report from Mitch Cleary earlier tonight. He's gone in for an arthroscope after pulling up sore after that practice game last week against the Crows. And the captain of the Swans, Callum Mills, will not only miss next week, opening round against the Hawks, he will also be missing the first 4 rounds after scans revealing a tear in his plantar fascia. We know all the troubles he had last year with that shoulder, and then missing the grand final with a hamstring. So that's all the injury news. Tomorrow night, Collingwood are taking on Richmond. Timmy, Braden Maynard, Jordan De Goey, Mason Cox, the main outs at Magpie Land. While for the Tigers, Sam Lawler, Tom Lynch both will miss with concussion. And that news earlier in the week that Dion Prestia is also going to be out for an extended period with an Achilles injury.
Now, that's a solid wrap-up from you, Pigsy. Bravo. Of course, we've got the Richmond-Collingwood game tomorrow night on Triple M. Jack Hev, Jess Webster are making her debut with Triple M. We've got Joey Montagna, Sarah Hosking. Nat Yanidis will be down on the boundary, and we'll have Ethan Meldrum on the Red Z Lenders tomorrow night. But tonight, Ashley Chua, you're on the Red Zeds. What are they saying to us at the moment?
The top 2 ranked players on the ground. Nick Martin, 21 disposals and 2 majors for the Bombers. Bowes, 28 in a major. Just the Bombers' scoring efficiency continues to be above the league average. 34%, 11 majors from the 32 entries, which is 12 above the league average.
So Isaac Smith, Stevie Johnson on the Seabus Supers tonight. Boys, what are we expecting out of this final term here at GMHBA?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There'll be some older players out there that are probably putting the cue in the rack a little bit. Essendon would love to win this game. I think Geelong, it doesn't really matter for them. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll see some young guys really going at it. I reckon we might see some older guys maybe just slowing up a little bit, Stevie.
100%, Isaac.
We're McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. As the ball's bounced out of the circle. And DeConning and Draper will go head-to-head, Stevie.
Well, the ball was being bounced.
Yes, it was. It was, to be fair. And Hobbs has got a free kick at the bottom of the pack, and he puts an up and under inside forward. Fitty for the Bombers. Punched out sideways. Gresham will track the bouncing ball, wins it. Oh, hand past the centre field. It just got her off his boot, went straight up in the air. Hobbs had to sit underneath it, do that and play fair, dragged out of bounds. Well, the ball was kicked off his foot out of bounds. And what's the umpire said?
On the full.
Played that on the full. So the Cats will bring it back in, and Zach Guthrie will receive it and take a mark at halfback for Geelong.
Bombers by a point. Start of this final term. Guthrie is caught in a few minds, and then he loads up, sends a long drop punt down the line. Dempsey men-handled in the contest. He'll get the free kick. What are his numbers tonight, Q-Man?
Ollie Dempsey, 15 disposals.
As he wheels inside now, and he sends a long drop punt to half forward. And Dangerfield, haven't called his name much, sends this one out to the open side. Jack Henry's leaked forward on the 50. And he just pokes one. He was pushed on the side by Caddy. It's going to work out, though. Kolajasny a long way from home. Handball out in the tackle. Myers drops to the knees and then paddles it out. Only as far as Shield, who waxes there with McGrath. Got bumped off at Shield. Now from the pocket, close. Handball's inside. Dangerous moments for the Essendon defence as Close sends it up and down. They can't work it forward, and in the end, it's shoveled towards the behind post and out of bounds for a toss-in. Essendon 11-2-68, Geelong 10-7-67. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Well, the Bombers hanging on by a point, and the boundary throw-in to take place, hugged in against the point post for the Cats. Dangerfield tries to work his way through a big pack, somehow got boot the ball. It'll land in the square, and Harrison Jones drops back for Essendon and slaps it through for a rush point. So scores level here at GMHBA as the Cats go to 10-8. The Bombers 11-2, both 68. Just a couple of minutes into the first term on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Ridley squirts the ball to Sardis. His numbers 2 down on the Triple M Red Zeds.
22 touches along with 6 clearances.
Prolific at VFL level. He's got over 40 on a couple of occasions, so he can find the ball. And he should put together a full season today, this year in the senior side. So ball out of bounds, broadcast wing. We're all tied up 68 apiece. So the boundary umpire takes a deep breath and hurls the ball back into play. Blitzarves, front Sardis, snaps around his left shoulder. It's a tumbling ball end on end, and it'll beat Stewart out of bounds. Umpire says toss it in.
The one positive for both sides is if it does continue to be close, both teams can practice a little bit of game management towards the end of the game. It's something you don't get a lot of time to practice at training or against the proper opposition, where you play your teammates. They know what's going on in different situations. They can practice whether they need to try and win the game with a couple of minutes to go, or what they need to do if they needed to save the game and control the footy. So that's one benefit of a close game in a pre-season match.
So boundary throw in. And the Bombers have it inside their forward 50. Draper gets leapt over down the ground level. Going to work it out was Bowes. Spun around in a tackle, got boot the ball. Myers ends up with a little kick off the ground by Humphreys. Little goes about 45 into the centre of the ground. Nice. Dangerfield break the first tackle, can't break the second. Dragged down in the tackle, but got boot the ball. And it spills out towards half forward where Jeremy Cameron marks. Didn't go for goal. He's kicked it across half forward as he found his teammate out there in Brian Myers, who stood firm 40 out, and he spotted someone in the square. That's close. Oh, dropped off his hands.
Close but no cigar.
And rolls through for a point off his fingertips. Oh, jeez. A point up the Cats. He'll be filthy. 3 minutes into the last term. They hit the front on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
You're talking about Jezza being everywhere. At three-quarter time, he'd had 4 touches inside forward 50, 10 in attacking mid and 6 in defensive mid. So he'd been getting up the ground a bit, Stevie, and he'd been getting those numbers up, and I am gobsmacked that he's still out there, to be honest.
Shield was looking inside for Setterfield, almost coughed it up, but Langford, steady hand, sends the kick to the outer side and finds Jones. He measures a ball, and it's way too wide there for Gresham. Hit about 5 metres separation on the defender, and the ball wasn't kind. So out of bounds on the outer wing, Geelong by a point. 16 and a half left in this one on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
This two-man better look out. You'll take his job, getting those sort of numbers out.
I'll tell you his job, you won't take any comedians there.
You didn't give that any credit. Close with no cigar. That was good.
Sardis kicks inside for the Bombers. The Kako, who offhands, grabs it, then had a sneaky look at the goals, and then saw 3 Geelong defenders coming towards him. And the ball rolls out of bounds, left forward pocket for the Bombers.
Oh, we're having a bit of fun up here, but Stevie mentioned Kako before the centre bounce, the first centre bounce of the game, and I reckon you're on one here, Stevie. I reckon he could be your favourite player.
Ball in. City end of the ground, Draper. Tried to paddle it out the back, never. Did well, flicked it up to Atkins, who just puts it to grass. Blitzarves, that was nice to the advantage there at Dempsey. He's leaked out the back here, Neil. Perfectly weighted ball. just landed in his lap, 40 from home on a slight angle.
He pulled up. He'd been on a 120-metre searching run. You tell me that he's a
400,
just outside Olympic times for an 800.
Yep.
Surely no one's catching him.
Well, they certainly weren't
Pedal to
catching
the
it
middle
there. Well, he could have run that into the line and just knocked that over. So,
Josh Jenkins just not catching him.
That's a good comparison. He's built a lot like JJ. He's kicked the 1 goal tonight. He breaks the 50. Distance not an issue.
Nice.
Oh.
And neither is the accuracy. He kicks his second, and the margin out to 7 points to the favour of the Cats here at GMHBA with 15 minutes left on the clock on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
And Geelong will like that play. They got their forward tie up the ground there, and they know they've got Cameron, they know they've got Neil, they know they've got Close, who's lightning quick as well, and Stengel, that they can play their forward tie and they can beat their defenders back. And Stevie just mentioned that he could have ran that in and kicked the goal, but he must have a lot of confidence in his ability to knock him over from 45, because that was a beautiful kick.
I'll tell you what, you can put that goal down to Mark Blitz's.
Yeah,
beautiful touch.
Blitz isn't the best player I've ever played with, but he's certainly the most valuable.
Harvey Norman replay, just backing that up. Beautiful work from Blitzars to Dempsey. And it sets it up for Neil for his second goal. And the Catters out to that handy lead now. They've got a 13-point lead. That'd be a 7-point lead, thanks, Tim, over the Bombers. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Essendon go into the centre. Kako lurks. Langford at the full, taps it to Kako. This time swamped by Cats defenders. Kolajasny, one of those, punched it out to Zach Guthrie. Nice tackle laid by Gresham. And the umpire has paid the reward for the tackle.
Thanks, guys.
He'll go back about 40 out. The player on the mark about 40 out. And have a shot.
Jump out.
He's not a huge kick, Gresham. I just look for that lurking one around the back. Doesn't seem to be anyone lining up for it.
Yep.
Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful tackle from Jade Gresham, the former Saint. Found his way to the Bombers. And just on a slight angle. Steps up to the Joel Selwood end. Gives it absolutely everything he's got. Half post line, it's straight. And the Bombers get one back. It's a 1-point ball game again with 14 and a half left to play. And Essendon 12-2-74. The Cats 11-9-75. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
I reckon half post hole was a bit generous, but
maybe a third.
I think it went maybe just over the pads.
I reckon if Aaron Sandlands was on the line, then he would have touched it.
Red Z Lenders, too, man.
Positives for the Bombers. Zach Reid. He's played 96% game time, which is the most of any Essendon players. He had 13 touches. Remember, since 2021, he's only played 9 out of a possible 91 games since making his debut back in 2021.
Talking about Aaron Sanderland, still one of my favourite bits of vision is when you tried to hip and shoulder him.
I once got told as a kid, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And then I ran into Aaron Sanderland.
And he didn't fall.
He did fall. Oh, he did actually fall, but he broke every intercostal muscle in my chest.
It's struck to YouTube for that one. Sardis from the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. A big fly came through from Durham. Here he is, Stevie! Oh, yes! Kako bobs up, mops up, snaps the goal. Essendon back in front by 5, and Kako's got 3.
Wacko, Kako.
Yes. Look at him.
Well, I've just had a look at the media centre, and I reckon absolutely every one of them in there is listening to Triple M, because every time something gets settled, there's a little bit of excitement. I'm seeing laughter and giggling, and but we've talked about him all night, Steve. He's now your man, and
yes, he is.
Will he play round 1? Will he be?
Will he play?
Will he be all Australian?
Will he be Essendon's best and fairest winner?
I think he's captain, isn't he? Run out as captain, Zach will step aside.
But he's been brilliant tonight.
Great young player. It's exciting in any side to see a young bloke just step up. 6 lead changes. Ash?
Spot on for Red Z. And Kako, a dozen disposals, along with those 3 goals, as you mentioned.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Bombers up by 5 points. The umpire's whistle goes, dropping the ball free to the Cats. As Clark claims it, little hand pass off towards Stewart. who runs around one and then kicks it inside forward 50. Dropping back was Reed, who Ash just spoke about. He takes a nice mark, a defensive mark. So about 20 metres from the goal he's defending. Called the play on. Squares it out wide here to Dersma. And the ball bounced off his chest and went out of bounds. Or was it paid the mark? No, out of bounds. So out of bounds about 60 around from the Cats' goal. Been pretty handy since he left Putter.
Very handy.
Tim.
Just shouldn't kick down the wings. As the ball's tossed back in.
You leave the specials to us, boys, right?
Yes. Fair call. As Essendon try to work their way out of the stoppage. It's almost thrown out of there by Roberts. And then held up right on the 50-metre arc. So we'll have a stoppage. Attacking end here for Geelong. The Colac end. We've named it tonight. As Brian goes down. Couldn't break his way through there.
Is this one of these, sorry, Tim, is this one of these moments you're talking about, Steve, where you can just look at your structures, you're 5 points down, could be, you know, a top 4 game, and here you are, what are you going to do?
Yeah, this is where Essendon might try and practice a couple of things. A man behind the ball, where he's supposed to be situated, and they can watch the film after it.
Sweeping handball, Duncan, and then an inside-out snap there is beautiful by Closey. 30 metres out, but it was the handball from Duncan, a sweeping one that went about 30 metres. Closey finished the job, and the Cats back in front, 12-9-81, Essendon 13-2-80. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
That was a handball you used to see in the 1990s when it was man on man and there was space everywhere. But Mitch Duncan, he's handballed that about 30 metres, put it on a silver platter for Close, and then Cloesi's been able to finish it. So, yeah, brilliant handball, and it's amazing. I think it's one of the best skills in football when you can execute something like that and it sets up your team for a goal. So, close game here, Stevie. If you were Essendon coach right now, what would you do?
Well, there is still 12 minutes 50 to go
what would you do?
Quarter, but I'd tell those guys to keep taking the game on as much as they possibly can and try and get in front and a little bit of excitement. But as it gets closer, 3-4 minutes to go in the quarter, that's when you can start to think about some scenarios. What would we do in this situation if we need to win the game? Do they have a sign on their wing which suggests, we need a +1 or a +2 behind the ball, and make sure that stuff gets done, so when they review the game, they don't just review what happened in the first 3 quarters, they review what they would do in a close game, which might win them or lose them a game in the regular season.
McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M Rocks footy, so a bit of pressure on to see what, as Stevie said, what can either side do in this situation, particularly the Bombers. The Cats, we know, a quality outfit. Atkins, little hand pass off to Stewart, short ball to Myers on the outer side wing, has to play on it, was too short, and he's kicked it straight into the arms of Ridley. He goes short to Perkins for the Bombers, and he's got it just defensive side of the centre of the ground. So the Cats by a point. A little squared up kick to Nick Bryan, the big fella for Essendon. He goes short and finds Setterfield. Comes out wide here to Dersma, who marks 52 metres out for the Bombers. Still a reasonably open forward line. He goes to the pocket and up he goes. Caddy flies, won't mark. Nice little spall down the ground level by Kolajasny. And Geelong can run away from halfback.
On the counter-attack, Bose try to juggle the mark at ground level. Jezza got ripped down in the tackle. Fantastic tackle laid there by Zach Reed, and he's rewarded. Jeremy Cameron's numbers, too, man.
22 disposals, 7 score involvements, 2 goals, 2.
Boys thought he might have come off at half-time, but he's still out there in the final term.
He's been serviceable.
More than serviceable, you'd think. This Ridley from centre-half back completes the switch to the outer side. Little darting ball forward. Finds Harry Jones, who nurses one to the big man, Brian. He's about 70 from home, tucked in on the boundary, sends it in towards Merritt. Muscled his way to the front, couldn't stick it. And now the Cats with numbers. They pounce, they tackle. And it might have been in the back there from Zach Guthrie. It was. So free kick to Gresham. 30 from home, 5 metres in from the boundary.
He's got the option here, whether he comes in and goes to left foot snap.
Kicked his first at the 8-minute mark of this final term. To the city end of the ground. Joel Selwood stand. He goes the check side, and he's hit that nicely. Well done. Gresham gets his second. Essendon back in front by 5 points. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
And they got a couple of small forwards now, Stevie, that they'd be really happy with. And going into the season, they'd be thinking, you know, if we can get 30 to 40 goals out of Gresham, if we could get 30 to 40 goals out of Kakao, if we could get, you know, 30 to 40 goals out of Langford and 30 to 40 goals out of Caddy, like that would be a big season and a very happy coach, I'd say, at the end of the year.
Yeah, if they get that much out of those players, they'll be top four. Don't worry about that, Isaac. But they are looking dangerous. You know, the thing I like is that they've got those key targets that they're prepared to kick the ball in long to, and then those smalls are getting after the opposition at ground level. And you don't necessarily have to score if every opportunity goes forward, but if you can score off, you know, 50% of them, but then score off the turnover because you've created the pressure around the opposition, well, that's how you get your best looks as well.
Oh, Dangerfield just burst out of the centre. And then he kept the eyes low. He looked for blitz halves, and in fact, it wasn't blitz halves, it was Cloesi, and the kick fell short and the Bombers repelled from halfback.
So the Bombers' pressure, 12 less entries inside 50, but twice as many tackles inside their forward 50, 11 to 5, and their pressure rating still going at 188, league average at 180.
Well, they've been looking to bring the ball to ground inside 50 as well with a lot of their contests. If they can't mark it, they're making sure it's a spill. So that's where you get those tackles from. That's where you build the pressure. And it's been impressive the way they've done that tonight.
Triple M Reds and landing stats with Ashley Stewart, complemented beautifully by Isaac Smith as Hobbs on the wing, under pressure, hand passes a turnover. The Bombers lead by 5 points. High kick towards half forward, and Cameron will mark. And he's marked at about 54 metres out. Open goal square. But again, he's looking for the shorter option, but just over the head of Myers. It's going to allow the Bombers in numbers. Hand pass goes astray though. Clark's got it. Runs into the tackler, tried to punch it out to Watkins. Tracks the footy, slaps it along the ground. Duncan just punches it back towards Myers inside. Hand pass back to Duncan. Run down by Nick Martin. Ball spills into the hands of Harry Jones. Tackled by Dempsey beautifully. Hand pass will come over the top towards Poppy Stengel in the pocket as a snap. And it has gone shy of the goalpost and through for the point. So the Cats have lifted. They're pushing now just to try and reclaim 6.5 minutes left in the game. And it's the Bombers who have the lead by 4 points.
Just going back to your point, Isaac, about the ability of those Essendon forwards to bring the ball to ground. I reckon at one point you said that Jack Henry had taken about 4 intercept marks. That was early on in the game. As the games wore on, Geelong's only up to 6 as a team for the whole game, and that's been one of their biggest strengths as a defensive group for many a year, and that's why they've been so competitive, because they get so many intercept marks, and then that creates opportunities for them in attack. But for that young Essendon forward line to be able to compete in the air and get the ball to ground, that's why they've got so many good looks tonight.
So 8.5 minutes left in this one until the real season kicks off. As a dump kick inside 50 fortuitously lands in the hands of Stengel.
Watch out, 3 metres back.
And he'll go back to kick his third.
3 more metres. Yep.
As Tommy Stewart gets a round of applause as he makes his way off the field. One of the crowd favourites here. Stengel to the Barwon River end of the ground. Right to your dial. He trots his way in, Stengel. Starts this left. It's going to go across the face. It's all Bombers. And the leaving mark taken by Brian, is it? I think it's Brian. So right on the last line, the big man Brian will settle things, and he squirts one out in the hands of Dersma.
Kicking towards the centre's a dangerous ball. It's on the deck. Bombers have got to go. And the young man Roberts did run into the tackler, dispossessed. And now it goes again. Kick towards half forward to Gresham. Gresham 55 out, open goal square for Essendon. Hand pass Durham, has a look, sums it up, has a go, and puts it real wide and out to the right. And misses everything. So the Bombers still hang on to that 4-point lead. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard, 7.5 left to play.
Come back around, Sam.
The goal there would have made it interesting. 7.5 minutes to play. Essendon, they would have been feeling really confident there. You're sort of 10, 11 points up. You're able to then go into a different mode again in a couple of minutes' time, Stevie. So it'd be interesting. I would love to see Essendon 2 or 3 goals up and see how they try and manage staying in front for the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game.
Well, this ball's coming in long. And let's see if we get another really strong contest and a small forward can crumb and kick a goal.
Where is the Kako? Ball in. Big fly came to Koning. At the spill was Brian, the big man. Only as far as Henry. Atkins shares it around by hand to Humphreys, who steps through the gate and then sends it out towards Cowboy Neal. Ball off hands. Dersma, Hobbs, hurried, wobbly, worn-burning kick. Oh, big Kako! Look at the Kako! He swooped on it, snapped it over his left shoulder, and the little live wire's got his fourth.
Well, to be honest, it's exactly what we're talking about. So from the entry from the other side of the ground, they kick the ball in. They get a really strong contest ahead of the ball. Yes, the ruckman picks it up and has a shy snap, and it didn't quite connect. But as soon as that didn't happen, they picked up the ball. There was pressure at the kicker of Geelong coming out of defence, and then repeat entries. That's what the good teams do. They're able to win the ball back outside 50. Another chaos ball back inside. A big contest again.
Big
that
contest.
was from Draper, wasn't it?
It was 3 on 1.
3v1, get the ball to ground. Kako's at his feet, and that's where all good small forwards live.
And in 2 days' time, when Essendon get back into the club and they're looking at this game, I'd be staggered if that's not what they're reviewing. Those contests, then getting numbers to the fall of the ball and the pressure they brought from that. So it's been really impressive tonight.
Smart from Kako, 4 goals for the night, and the Bombers are 10-point leaders. Just under 7 minutes left to play.
He might win the Brownlow.
Well, suggested that earlier, and that's gaining legs, isn't it? There's Setterfield out the centre, Caddy on a lead.
We don't like to put too much pressure on him.
No, we don't. Oh, he's lurking. Look at this. Here he goes. Just lays the tackle on Humphreys. Goes again. Second effort. Push pump out of the way. Gresham tries to barge his way through. He's dragged down in the tackle. And the umpire said you took too long to get rid of it, and the free kick will go to Colin Jasney, the tackler. He kicks across half back for the Catters. Conning is marked. He looks to the outer side wing. They've got a player in. Dempsey slipped through his fingertips. Allowed Harry Jones in. Hand pass back to Setterfield. Hand pass over to Perkins. Perkins keeps the eyes low. He's got Langford on a lead. And he's got him boundary side about 60 from home.
Sure has. Tucked in on the boundary.
And I like this. They're not rushing either here. They're waiting for their forwards to get set up, waiting to get a contest.
Little three-quarter kick. Caddy works to the front, but out the back, Brian.
Yes.
Unopposed. And they're showing a bit late here, Essendon.
Yeah, well, the advantage to doing that, Isaac, is you allow not only your forwards to get set, and it's a bonus if you're able to take a contested mark, or in this case, an uncontested mark. But what they are doing is allowing their smalls to get set up for the crumb, or to be that first layer of pressure, and they're getting their defence set across the forward 50. So they kick it in. If they don't score off it, get set behind the ball, repeat entry back in, and away they go again.
He's serviceable in the ruck, and he slots home his first goal. Well done, Nick Bryan. He's the preferred second ruck instead of Goldstein, who played in the twos tonight. He slots his first at the 24-minute mark of the final term, and with 5 minutes left on the clock, Essendon at 98, leading the Cats 82.
And for a big man, he's had some beautiful kicks tonight. He's a nice kick of the footy. That was a beautiful set shot on goal. We just saw him down in the defensive 50, and he was able to pierce a kick through the middle of the ground, and then we saw him connect earlier in the game for an inside 50 kick as well. So they'd be happy with what they've got.
Got an audience here in front of me for Red Z. Barry Denner and Tim Solly. So they're giving me the death stare.
We're all looking at you now, eh?
Positives for Essendon. They've had the last 5 entries, Izzy. That's an area where they've lost significantly tonight, the territory battle, but their pressure rating in this quarter up 200.
Whoa! Ash, the Bombers up by 16 points, 5:18 left to play. If you called it,
I have.
Righto, the Bombers are home, according to Ashley Chua. So out of the it's Gresham who gets a hand pass to Setterfield. Essendon work it out of the centre again, and Hobbs will mark. So Hobbs goes out wide of the outer side wing. And big fella dropping back, and just the ball fumbled out of his hands was Hayes. Goes over the top. Jones goes short towards Kako. Just off his hands, it goes out of bounds, 45 out from the Bombers' goal.
Like to see him get a handful.
Yes, 5 would be good. He's got 4.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
He's lurking. Look, you can see him bouncing around. He's dragged his team over the line tonight.
You just got to keep getting goal side when you're looking for that one at the end.
Where is he here?
There he goes.
Bounce.
Slaps into his path, but he couldn't keep the Sheridan field of play.
He's obviously got a good relationship with Draper. First game.
Yes.
Getting it knocked outside.
Yep.
Yeah, all he needed to do, that was to pop up and bounce to him. He kicks a goal there.
Get a second look at it here. They toss it in 30 out from the Dons goal. Draper to the front. Kako tackling this time. High ball from Mullen. Back with a flight. Bryan. He takes a nice mark in the Jukes.
Been some really positive signs tonight from the young fella.
So Bryan's got it at half forward. Drops a 35-metre drop punt to about 20 out. Perkins a big leap, didn't mark. Humphries off hands for the Cats. Punts out a hand pass towards Guthrie. Gives it to Holmes. Dragged down to a tackle. Snuck a hand pass away to Close. Close under pressure. Hand pass. Swept it out here to the wing. Clark's got a little bit of space. Squeezed a nice kick to Chloe Hesse, who's got it on the wing at the edge of the square broadcast side. Pops it up in front of Atkins. Lets it go for Dempsey. Picks it up on the bounce. Can he get around Sardis? Not really. Tried to hand pass over towards Bowes. Reed got in his way. Ball's on the deck. 45 from the Cats goal. Bombers come in numbers. Kick past Lee Smothered. Ends up back with Humphries. One step, 50 out. Has a crack. Hooks it. And kicks a point for the Catters. 12-11-83. The Bombers 16-2-98. 3.5 left in the final term. Big numbers, Ash. Triple M Red Z.
Myers leading ball winner, 30 disposals and a major. Bowes with 29 and a goal. And Stevie, there's some mids there for the Bombers. The young mids have racked up a bit of the ball.
Yeah, young Cheetahs has had a fair bit of the ball by the looks. I don't know the exact numbers, and Hobbs seems to have bobbed up tonight and had quite a bit of the ball.
29 and 28 for those two players.
Who was that first up, Stevie? Sorry?
Is it how do you pronounce it?
Cheetahs is a show I watch on telly.
There was a local footballer down here in Geelong. His name was Jimmy Cheetahs.
It's Sardis, not Cheetos.
I think it was spelt like that.
Seal.
Ash, did you do that deliberately?
I think you might have. It's a stitch up,
What do
Stevie.
you like, Stevie? Don't
Don't let these
don't
little
be
notes
fooled
put
by
you
the
off,
nice
Stevie.
smiling face.
As McGrath sweeps it across half back. He's got Lewis Hayes, the number 18, who's been patrolling half back tonight for the Dons. A new face back there. And now they work their way down the outer wing. A good stretch again from Bryan.
Yes.
He's been prominent in this last quarter.
What are his numbers, Ash, in this final term? Nick Bryan.
Yeah, Triple M Red Z lending stats. 8 disposals, throw in 7 marks and a goal.
It's been big, and that's not his best effort. He's turned this one over into the hands of Zach Guthrie. So Cats can settle here at left half back. Only 2 minutes 14 left on the clock. They trail by 15. Long driving ball down the line, and got on Langford.
Yes.
Who's been pushed down back in these final minutes.
15 points up the Bombers. Ash called it about 3 minutes ago. He says they're home. And a short kick to Reed.
So they are practicing what you do in a game state situation where they're just trying to hold on to a lead. It's just take uncontested marks when you can, just chip the ball around with low risk. They've taken a bit of a risk there, but they've also gone and put one of their key forward players behind the ball who's about to have an impact here.
Bowes claimed it in the centre, and one of their key players that Stevie J was talking about was Langford, who found himself in the hole and took the comfortable mark at half-back. So the Bombers happy to tick the clock down and claim the Community Series Cup game. There's a short kick towards Roberts at half-back, and he marks. So just 1:19 left on the clock as Roberts goes short to Hobbs, and he'll mark defensive side of the wing, Big Tim.
Sure does, Baz, and he just goes backwards. Just going to keep playing this, keep his off footy as Archie Roberts drives it across the defensive goal face to Mackay. Have you seen his game tonight is?
Yeah, I thought he was prominent early. He had some opportunities to really impact the game. I think his best work is done in the air when the ball hits the ground. Sometimes that's where he gets a little bit undone and a little bit unstuck, but I think Brad Scott and the Essendon coaching team will be really happy with what they got at full back.
Lewis Hayes again on defensive 50 now. 35 seconds left on the clock.
Move it on. Play on.
It's been a good hit out for both sides. Essendon have probably stood up better than what most would have expected as starters, not Cheetos. Takes the handball to Brian, and he sends it up inside. Here's Kako one-on-one. Trying to push home. Oh, he roves it. He twists. He turns. He's unselfish.
I think he did.
Surely not.
I think Draper toe poked it on the line.
No.
It was going to be his 5th major for the line.
I think it was over.
He's apologising. Harvey Norman, he's apologised to the young man.
No.
I think he's apologised.
That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in football.
Ever.
In the history of the game. Twisting and turning, Kako. He sent it towards goal.
That's unacceptable.
It's scrubbing its way across the deck.
What a goal that would have been.
On the line. Let's watch here on the Triple M Harvey Norman. It was skidding its way
through. Done it to him. Can you believe it?
Jeez.
Draper's done the little Cristiano Ronaldo on the line and just killed it.
Maybe fair.
All right.
Was it going to hit the post?
No. It went straight through the middle.
Would it have mattered?
Was it?
Straight through the middle. Look. The ball was halfway over and it's 3 metres from the goalpost.
Tell you what.
Well, Draper's going to get a stern word after the game. Essendon 104, Geelong 83, Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Here we go for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. First hit out for the night, Community Cup Series. Seconds tick down, the siren goes, the Bombers are home. The Bombers are home, Ash, by 21 points in the end. 12-11-83 Geelong, 17-2, 104 the Bombers. The player has marked about 70 out in
Mitch
Duncan.
He can hit a barrel, to be fair.
So we'll await the kick as Mitch does go for the barrel. Beautiful torpedo that floats to the left and lands about 5 metres short. 17-2, 104 the Bombers, 12-11-83 the Cats. Nice little hit out in the Community Cup Series game, and Essendon by 21 points. Ash, some big numbers please from you.
The youngsters for the Bombers, Sardis 31 disposals, 10 clearances. Hobbs picked up 29. McGrath picked up 28. And Ako, 4 majors along with his 14 touches, along with 4 score involvements, make that for Triple M Reds. And for the Cats, 31 to Bows and a goal. Myers had 30 in the majoring. Jeremy Cameron, 23 disposals, 7 score involvements, 2 goals, 2.
What do you think, boys? Nice little hit out for both clubs.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive from Essendon. I think Geelong probably got exactly what they wanted out of the game, and I thought Essendon were brilliant. Their pressure they brought, the contest created by their tall forwards and their small forwards had massive impact.
All right, let's go down courtesy of Fox Footy. Here's Isaac Kako.
Official practice match, and had heaps of fun, so
Sam Draper and what just happened then. He came up and apologised. Should have he just let it sail through? What do you reckon?
I actually got touched. I don't know if the umpires knew, but it was good that he kicked it. I'm happy he did, so make sure of it.
So round 1, or opening round rather, up against the Gold Coast Suns, you're going to have to be there. Are you primed? Are you ready? Is this what childhood dreams are all about?
My body's feeling good, and I feel like I've been almost everything right in the field. So hopefully, if the coaches choose me, then it'd be good to go up to the Gold Coast and live out my childhood dream. So
I'm pretty sure Brad Scott will select you. So talk to us about the summer and the pre-season, your first pre-season. You're just glad that it's over?
It was actually heaps of fun to get my first pre-season out of the way, and obviously the work's paid off with the boys, and hopefully we can take this into opening round and get a few wins on the board.
Who's taken you under their wing at the Bombers?
Obviously I've been good mates with Nate Caddy for a long time, so Nate, Langford, Gresham, Draper, everyone's been heaps of help, and it's been amazing.
Our Fox commentators upstairs were really impressed, obviously, with your goals tonight, but also your defensive effort. Is that something you really pride yourself on?
Obviously, coming into this year, there's a bit of question marks about my pressure, so obviously just, want to do right by my teammates and do anything I can to help. So, if pressure's that, then I'm willing to do anything.
What's the coach going to be most pleased about tonight's performance?
Obviously, I think it's the pressure overall. All the boys were, on the back of Geelong, and obviously against a good team like Geelong, we did pretty well. So, I think that's going to be who he's most happy about.
Well, we cannot wait to watch plenty more of you in red and black. Well done on your performance. Is this your first interview you've done live after a game?
Yeah, it is. It's been great. Thank you.
You've done awesome. Well done, mate. Go and enjoy.
A humble and talented young man. And he set us on fire tonight. Stevie J said his 5th goal he didn't get was the worst thing he's seen in football in 150 years.
He was robbed.
And happened in a Community Cup series. All right, catch our breath. We'll come back to wrap it up. The Bombers got home by 21 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
This year on Mick in the Morning, we're giving away the biggest prize on radio. And it's worth over $70,000.
Bang, you got that right.
One listener will be driving away in a brand new Mercedes-Benz GLA 200. So we've named it
Mick in the Morning.
Genius. Be listening to Mick in the Morning each week to find out how to win Mercedes-Benz Waverley in a class of its own. Visit the award-winning team at 769 Springvale Road, an easy 8 minutes from Chadstone.
G'day, Brownie here. Did you know the only place you can watch footy live on Saturdays every round in Victoria is Fox Footy, available on KO Sports. Can you believe it? Yep, live Saturday footy with no ad breaks in play and Fox Footy commentary on every match.
Listen to those fans!
Hey, Charlie Cameron, give us your best hello.
13!
Oh, need some work.
Super Saturday, live on KO Sports. Get on board.
Calling all home loaners, the RBA has finally dropped the cash rate.
Hell yeah!
And guess what? Athena Home Loans passed it on immediately and in full.
Yes, Queen!
To new and existing customers on all our variable rate loans. If your lender hasn't chopped yet, give them the chop. No other lender drops it like Athena. Call 13 35 35 or visit athena.com.au. Athena. Love us and leave us. Qualifying criteria applies.
Life's more fun when you add Supercoach. It's free to play and there's 50 grand up for grabs. No wonder it's Australia's best fantasy game. Visit supercoach.com.au and play today. T's and C's apply. NSWTP/01005.
Loving in the morning, loving in the evening, loving at any time. Now we've got our loving back, thanks to AAMI.
If you have erectile dysfunction or premature problems, call the doctors at AMI. AMI has a fast-acting oral strip that may provide better stamina and a prolonged performance. Call the doctors at AMI on 1800 1010 80 for a free consultation.
Or go online, amiaustralia.com.au.
Calling all apprentice plumbers, it's BT here. Now it's time to kickstart your career with a $3,000 grant from Ream. Ream has 20 grants available. Applications close April 27, so get onto it. Apply now at ream.com.au/apprentice.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The famous National Tiles Spend and Save is on now. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Or spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Yes, the more you spend, the more you save at the National Tiles famous Spend and Save. But you'll have to be quick. So rush into a National Tiles store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save.
Somewhere over the Tasman.
Kia ora. We'll be concluding our dinner service in a few minutes.
That was delicious.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm pressing the call button.
No, you can't do that.
Why not? It's a button. It's supposed to be pressed.
Only if it's super important.
It is super important. I'm pressing it.
No, don't.
Hello there. How can I help?
Was it me?
I think I can see the problem. Pinot Gris?
Oh, you're very kind. What others call good service, we call being Kiwi. Air New Zealand. That's how we fly.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Ah, yes, it was the Bombers who got over the line in the Community Cup Series game. 17-2, 104. Essendon, Geelong, 12-11-83. Stevie J, Izzy Smith in the house. The Maccas I'm loving at moment. Big Tim's here as well. Tonight's I'm loving at moment happened in the third quarter. And here's how we all called it on Triple M footy.
Sardis from the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. A big fly came through from Durham. Here he is, Stevie! Oh, yes! Kako bobs up, mops up, snaps the goal.
Wacko, Kako.
Yes. That was magnificent. And his last goal he didn't get, Stevie. We need to reflect on that because you said it was one of the worst things you've ever seen in 100 years of footy. Let's have a listen to that.
Takes the handball to Brian and he sets it up inside. Here's Kako one-on-one. Trying to push past. Oh, he roves it. He twists. He turns. He's unselfish.
I think he did.
Surely not.
I think Draper poked it on the line.
No.
It was going to be his 5th major for the
I
night.
think it was over. I
He's
think it was
apologising.
over.
Harvey Norman, he's apologised to the young man.
No.
I think he's
That's one of
apologised.
the worst things I've ever seen in football.
Ever.
That was worse than a day Dermy stood on some bloke's head.
Yes. Worst thing you've ever seen. That was. I think it was spot on. I agree with you.
That was a nice group call.
It is. We got to go home now. Just a couple of comments. The Cats and the Bombers from you boys looking all right.
Yeah, I think they're both looking okay. It'll be an interesting season, and Essendon would be really happy driving back down the highway tonight. And I think the Cats would take a fair bit from that as well, and they wouldn't be discouraged by anything they saw.
Yeah, I think they're both. I think the Cats are certainly going to be around the mark, and they'll sharpen right up. They had some good pieces of play throughout the night, and it was good to see that Essendon really have a style of play. It was obvious to see that the way they were going to play, they wanted to play with speed. They wanted to get it in, create a contest, and get their smalls involved at ground level. So if they can continue to keep that going, I think they'll be a dangerous prospect for any team in the competition.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Ash, where are we going tomorrow?
Icon Park, Baz. Richmond versus Collingwood. 7:10.
All right. Thank you, Ash. Time for us to wander off. Ash, you were brilliant. Stevie J, Izzy Smith, nothing needs to be said. They're superb. Timmy Solly's one of the best callers in football. Joey Pignataro down the banjo line. I've never seen a performance like it in my life. And we thank Zoe because she's absolutely superb. Jason, Paul, Leroy back in the studio for looking after us. Baz signing off on behalf of the crew. Remember this one thing, and you're going to get through footy season. You'll be fine. And that is, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Wacko, cacko.
Yes.
Now you can stream the footy wherever you go. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Melbourne, weekdays from 6. It's
Mick in the morning.
It's the show with Mick Malloy, Nick Rewalt, Titus O'Reilly, and Rosie Walton.
Doesn't give me any joy. Hooters have filed for bankruptcy.
Good news is there's 2 in Australia that we can go to.
Are they still open?
One's in New South Wales and one is in Queensland.
Penrith.
Yes. Yes.
Ground zero for Big Badungas.
Start your day with Mick in the morning. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's Triple M.
Back from a holiday road trip? Get your car checked at Rapid Tune. We'll keep you moving.
Hello, bank.
Hi, the RBA has dropped the cash rate.
Oh, I hope they pick it up again.
Okay, and so has Athena for new and existing customers.
Athena treats customers better.
And so when will you drop my rate?
Maybe next Friday or the following. Maybe never.
Well, I know when I'm going to drop you.
What? When?
If your lender hasn't dropped their rate yet, it's time you switch to Athena. Call 13 35 35 or visit athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us. Application subject to eligibility and assessment.
Is the shock of your energy bill hitting you hard? Well, at Tango Energy, we're turning energy on its head with our shockingly low energy rates. That's right, we're making bill time kinder on your wallet and your heart rate. With